So,
this is edgy.
last time we left off, you had been following the trails of the Ettins as they had made it down the trail from Mount Monolith. Apparently, had you found out on the behest of Agatha, who had you been tasked by Beretta Schillingen to retrieve her long-lost spellbook. Thus, you found yourself, well, tracking them back up the mountain, finding an illusion that covered a lake in what would appear to be a grass field, which you soon saw through, and that is, as far as I remember, where you find yourself now.
I'm gonna put it just before we start that it is a crime that we didn't say "Are we there yet?" in. The fact that none of us came up with that whilst we were walking with them is a total crime. Anyway, 1d4 plus 1. It's not. Yeah. It's worthy enough to get a +1.
Yeah, I think the one was actually from the fact that we did, in fact, not figure it out on our own during the adventure.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was a bit of self-inflicted there.
So we've revealed the lake. We can't see anything inside of the lake, though. No.
No. Someone had stuck their head.
I had.
Yeah, I thought it was you, but had stuck their head through, and it is very clear. Like the lake is very clear. The deepest it has towards the center, where the kind of ripples are on the map, would have been, what would it be in feet? I don't know, but like 15, 18 meters deep. So. It's a little bit down,
it's just
but
a deep swimming pool.
Insurmountable.
Really.
Yeah, basically, it's not like insurmountable. But there are some, rocks and like formations on the floor of the lake. But there doesn't appear to be anything aside from general wildlife that has been getting here one way or another. As the lake, whether natural or not, is still connected to this this river that has been running down, eventually pooling down by the ruins of Peace, the former temple of Eldath. Her name escaped me there for a second.
The Babe.
Yeah. But no,
I don't know why anyone would cover a lake like this unless... I mean, it would stop animals from coming to drink here.
Perhaps it's to hide them. Maybe they are more Eldath followers. Or just any other god that is hated in this place.
I'm not much for knowing about your god. Do you normally live underwater?
I wouldn't know because I'm very new at this. But thank you. I'm not sure.
I mean, you stop the animals from coming and they can't drink. Or you hide the lake so people unaware of it stumble in and are hurt. Either way, it just seems strange to me to hide a lake like this.
Not the first thing that seems strange to you.
Yeah. Out of all of the things, this is what you find strange.
Here in this place, I feel a little more at home. Everything in the city is just strange and unusual to me, but this is unusual in a place that I'm used to, so it seems even more unusual.
Anthus could not follow what was just said.
I mean, are we...
Are we there yet?
Or there, Etten?
Are we there yet? Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze in a second, and it's gonna.
Bless
suck.
you.
Okay.
No, I'm not anymore.
Gesundheit.
That's how this works. So whenever I feel a sneeze, I just go, I'm gonna sneeze, and then I don't, so it's fine.
So now you're blue balling us. Come on, that's not fair.
Can I fly Ravenous over the top of this lake to see if he can see through anything through the water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you send him over, just can I borrow him 1 second?
Of course you can.
When he comes and lands on me, I'm just gonna pop guidance on him.
Okay.
What does guidance do?
He gets an additional D4
you
once.
Already ahead of you.
Damn it!
It lasts a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how far can I send him away? 100 feet, is it?
Yeah, it's 100 feet.
So if I stand there, I can fly him over the middle and
Yeah.
look for his eyes.
What's
Yeah.
your raven eyes see?
And can I see what I can see?
You need to make a perception check through Ravenous eyes. Ravens don't have the sharp eyes thing, but you still roll with advantage because it doesn't make sense to me.
Can I watch
Okay.
Ravenous to see if there's anything that follows Ravenous under the water? You know, like something ominous.
So how would I roll
fish
it?
monster.
Yes, you go into the character sheet of Ravenous, and then
Yeah,
I
but
believe
it's-
perception is wisdom. So
Okay.
you roll a wisdom with advantage.
Okay, then I have to do it, so I'm just going to roll it twice and take the higher.
Well, it rolled a 6 and a 12.
Oh,
But
there
you
we go.
still have the extra D4 on the 6 and the 12.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't see that. Is that
Yeah, it's because it's
Sneaky.
I don't know why it
So
does that,
13.
but
It's like
yeah,
GM
so
only.
13. Simultaneously, Anthus, I need you to make a.
I'm gonna touch myself and guide myself.
won't be the first time.
Can you actually do that?
There you go.
Oh,
Alright.
28.
Okay,
I
so
see so much. I see computer monitors. I see.
So Anthus, as Ravenous flies out towards the center of the lake, from the far left, approximately, I'd say, 50 or so feet out to your northwest, there are ripples in the water that appear to, in one way or another, follow the movement of the bird. Similarly, straight ahead of the group, there are another set of ripples that continue to follow the bird.
Alright, guys, there's something in the water that is definitely not friendly.
The belly of tea.
Their ships blow up, their boys went down, blow my Billy blowies blow.
As for what Ravenous actually sees, Skittles, well, all of you can see the ripples in the water, even from where you're standing in the center. But with a roll of 13, no real additional information, you're able to make out the general layout, and there does appear to be like a large collection of rocks right beneath the, like, it would seem that the ripples originate in one way or another from this gathering of rocks at the bottom of the lake in the center.
Rocks as in ROCK or
massive
Yeah.
fucking
R-
bird
yeah,
under
yeah.
the water.
Yeah. This is the nesting ground for the ROC. No, rocks, as in ROCK.
No, it's the resting ground for the locks.
Yeah, the board.
Just giant fucking hanging-locks, just swimming in the water.
Yep.
So I will fly Ravenous back
Okay.
away from big fucking Ravenous.
So Ravenous will take its leave and go.
And Anthus, you notice that the ripples, they appear to kind of dissipate and return to from where you had originally caught them. Their movements. They appear to.
They definitely
go
feel
back.
like guardians of some kind. As they're staying in specific places.
We could always.
Voice okay, Anthus?
Sorry?
Is your voice okay, Anthus?
I think I've breathed in some helium today. I can't go.
Yes, you do.
We could always see if they are hungry, and she'll take a ration out of her bag and go to suggest towards throwing it into the lake.
Okay.
See if anyone looks like they're going to object.
I love the way you check that to see if we'll object. We kill everything else.
Everything else, he's just like, fuck it. If they hate me for it, I don't care. But this one thing, he's like,
throw a body through a portal and summon a demon.
They'll accept that just fine.
Almost as if they're different characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is it you're like throwing in? Is it like, you know, a bit of breadcrumbs? Is it
It's
like
like a ration's worth of whatever it is, like a chunk of meat or
a little bit
A
of
gas
dried
sandwich.
bread and
half
you know,
a dried
nuts?
bread.
Yeah.
But
Well,
she's gonna throw it as far as she can into the lake,
Okay.
towards
In
the
the
rest.
meantime,
sandwich.
can I have a look to see if there's any animal tracks around?
Yeah.
While he's doing while she's
make
doing that.
make a investigation check for me.
Investigation
Mr.
or survival?
I'd say investigation because you're specifically looking for.
I'm looking for tracks, which I would call survival, but investigation sucks, so I'm arguing for the
oh,
sake
you know
of-
what? I'll high five you with
11.
guidance.
All right.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Ooh, 15.
There are animal tracks leading up and away from the water. It does not appear. You draw the conclusion that it doesn't appear that the illusion maybe it doesn't affect wildlife, or that they have since seen through the illusion. It's
Okay.
weird.
This is your monthly reminder that guidance is bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Okay,
Guidance. I love guidance.
I'll
Okay.
keep the survival in mind for future checks. When
Just
track.
because I'm better at that, that's why I was.
No, I mean, I think you're correct actually.
Anyway, so yeah. Cool.
There you go. As you throw out the rations worth of things, like it plumps into the water, slowly sinking. Some fish come and nibble at the things. You notice a larger fish comes along and takes a larger chunk out of the loaf of bread, and he is kind of, seems to be enjoying it. They no movement in any other way though. Just as it appears that you have
You have made a friend.
yeah, if fish could speak, they'd like you.
For
You get
3
that
seconds.
impression. Yeah.
For a whole round.
Half a round. No, well, these aren't goldfish. We can extend it to a full round, yeah.
Yeah, a whole round is generous. I don't want to just swim and die.
It's up to you guys how you want to approach this.
I mean, do we need to go in?
Miss Bell, would you like to join me on a walk around this place? See if there's anything not at this one spot that we've come across. See if there's anything else anywhere else we can find.
Sure, I can stretch my legs.
We'll take a leisurely walk around while people are doing other stuff.
Okay.
I'll keep detect magic up for the 10 minutes that I can.
And that is
Cool.
30 minutes, 30 feet, correct?
Yes.
Can I check the water, touch it, and make
Yeah.
sure it feels like real water, and just
Yep.
maybe sniff it and
Yeah,
Flush
I'm not
them
gonna
out.
make it. I'm not gonna make a roll for that. It is in fact water. It is
But is
very
it wet? Is water wet?
yes.
Okay, so this is
In
another
this world,
homebrew
yes.
setting you have?
Well, I mean, first of
Yeah,
all, like the
setting
sun
specific.
rises in the east, now water's wet. What is going on in this world? Everything's tipsy-turvy.
Right?
Yeah.
The water is lava.
That checks out, though. That checks out.
That makes
Lava,
sense.
lava
yeah.
is wet.
All right. So as you're walking around the lake, are you looking for anything specific, or what is it you're looking for? Is
I
it-
guess Me and Belle are both looking for anything that might have been causing this illusion. Anything else that's giving off a magic ping around. Anything, any tracks that aren't animal related, maybe, or the Ettins.
Hmm.
Just in general, anything that seems out of place, more so than a lake that is covered by an illusion field.
Yeah. Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
And Bell is safe case, so take advantage on that. And I assume you cast guidance on yourself, so go ahead.
I thought you said.
Guidance.
I thought you said Bell is AFK, so take advantage of that.
That's a whopper of a 10.
That doesn't sound a lot like Finn in character. A 10.
A whopping 10.
Well, it's not too bad.
My favourite kind of 10. A whopping 10.
It's like a whole 2 hands of fingers.
I mean, you see more tracks of various animal species. You know, you see hoof prints, bear tracks, boar tracks. A lot of people or a lot of wildlife come here to drink. It would appear. As you kind of come around, so you would be on the southwest bank. You know, it would have been as you come around. The tracks that you notice are much larger humanoid ones. Possibly belonging to the Ettins.
So around sort of this side.
Yeah. And they go straight into the water. They don't appear to be, going anywhere else. They just kind of go... They disappear once they enter the water, at the water bank.
Okay. We turn to the others and tell them what I know. It looks like the Ettins went into the water, and then they were Ettin.
That is a funny one.
If he relays that while I'm
terrible.
If he relays that while I'm sort of still fiddling about with the water, can I sort of put my head in and open my eyes as if to have a look?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I don't know how murky it is.
It's pretty clear.
It's not very murky water at all. It's quite clear. You
Do you
stick
wanna-
your head in, you open your eyes, and you see what you saw from the surface, except a slightly more, distorted and blurry from the water itself. But nothing appears to really stick out to you. Nothing is, coming towards you or anything like that.
So I'm
You
gonna.
did say that there was ruins in there, so I'm just updating my notes.
Well, kind of. It's more like a gathering of, rocks at the
Okay.
fucking hell, at the center of the center of the lake. There are other rock formations, like the V shape where they go to hunt, but
Would I have seen where Finn was examining his Ettin footprints? Like I don't know
I
how far
assume
away
so.
it was from.
it would have been on the west bank from where you guys are, so it wouldn't have been more than 50, 60 feet. I don't know.
Okay. Can I
Yeah.
walk over to Ravenous, just kiss him on top of
it's
his
like
beak?
90 feet.
I'm gonna walk over to Ravenous, kiss him on top of his beak, and then I'm going to take control of Ravenous and fly into that area, into the water.
Okay.
And sort of like a duck, where they just go along and then they just poke their head in and poke their ass out. just looking around that area in the water,
Died.
but as Ravenous.
Alright. So I'll put Ravenous where the Ettin or the humanoid Ettin tracks ended at the bank, and you can move Ravenous as you wish, and Willius say that he's swimming. She's it.
So ultimately, I'm looking for like signs that the Ettins went deeper,
Okay.
and just sort of looking for any signs of Ettin tracks into If I see anything alarming, like anything big swimming past, whatever, I'd probably pull him up away from the surface.
Yeah.
But I'm probably zigzagging sort of towards the centre.
Okay.
A bit cautious about the swirly bit.
So, as you would have reached this point, I need Anthus to make another perception check for me, please.
Oh, guys. Vision. Oh my god, a second natural 20!
Oh my god!
Which makes it
Hey,
another
That's
28.
the exact same roll.
I know.
You should never have left Asda, because that is the optician's winning right there.
yeah, I am. I've got vision, guys. I can see.
That is gorgeous.
Oh,
You instantly notice that about, 15 feet away from where Ravenous is, or as you're like following the bird, you do see the same kind of ripples, the movement towards Ravenous. Ravenous is unaware, and even if you're controlling him and having the eyes yourself, you cannot see anything. You do not perceive any danger
Does
as
Anthus...
Ravenous at this point.
Does
Anthus,
Anthus
you're able to see the ripples.
Do I understand how familiars work?
I don't know. Does he?
I don't know. Does he?
I mean, a couple of sessions ago, I don't remember which one of you it was, but I asked you to look after me while I was looking after Ravenous, because I couldn't. So if you were there for that conversation, you might know that I have no perception through my own eyes whilst looking through Ravenous's eyes. But that's about all I've explained.
I'm gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yeah.
Like,
who's chaotic evil now?
Still you, because I'm going to assume that he knows that you can bring them back.
Alright.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep going in this direction then.
Yeah, so I need you to stop there.
Yeah.
And we'll see what this is.
Fish!
Today's fish.
What is
Squidward pops up.
what is Ravenous AC?
Like 12, I think.
Comes out the water.
12, yeah.
SpongeBob!
SpongeBob.
It's 12?
12, yeah.
Alright. Well,
Nice. Construct. It's a snack.
It could
be
be
a squid.
all sorts.
Does it have
Oh, it could be a
snitties?
squid. Squad.
so
I don't know what is. I don't know what Ravenous is.
HP is 1.
What's that?
It's always 1.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like
Okay.
it's almost always 1.
I don't know. I've never had a familiar before.
it's
You're not
okay.
very familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
It's alright. As Ravenous is kind of swimming and you're feeling, well, you're actually only seeing and perceiving through, you're blinded and deafened as Vago, but you can still feel and you can still, well, that's it actually. I guess you can move, but
You have feelings.
yeah, but you're blinded and deafened.
Yeah.
But as Ravenous, you suddenly feel the water constrict around Ravenous, preventing her from, or it, or him, whatever it is, from moving. She is considered grappled.
And can he see anything? Like, could I see anything as Ravenous?
You see a slight... You know how under the water, when you see kind of like a whirlpool forming, like there is like the water is kind of twisting and swirling?
Yeah.
There is that type of sensation 10 feet away from you, quite large.
Ravenous. I don't know how it works.
And
Well,
around you, you do feel the constriction of
but I don't see like a
the water
creature.
itself.
I see the water whirlpooling, but I don't see a creature, right?
Yes.
So, am I able to dismiss that sight through Ravenous and come back as myself while Ravenous is still there? Yeah?
Yes.
So I'm going to do that and then say, Ravenous is in a bit of a pickle. He seems to be caught in some sort of water vortex. I can't move him.
You have no way of bringing him back, do you?
Well, I could go and rescue him, but I imagine it's quite dangerous. I'm not planning on leaving him there.
How do you plan on
Hold
saving him then?
Well, I couldn't dismiss him, but I'd rather not. I'd like to try and see if we can find the source of this water vortex.
Alright then.
Ravenous doesn't seem to be in pain, right? He's just constricted. He just can't move.
For now.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now.
And as 6 seconds has passed, it is Ravenous gets forcefully moved towards this kind of shivering, twisting, swirling part of the water.
But is he now released?
No, he is still constrained. If you wish to try and break free, there is a DC for it, but it's also a bird.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of would be more on the bank pondering what to do rather than going back through Ravenous's eyes at this point. But I guess we'd see him being moved away from the middle.
Yeah, I mean you're very much aware, and so is Anthus, of where Ravenous is, and you can see that the bird is not moving. It is not flapping its wings. It has very little movement whatsoever, and is being pulled backwards towards the ripples that Anthus is able to perceive.
So I'm going to say to the other guys, I assume Ravenous is making his way back to us. But I assume that the Ettins travelled this way. I don't know what they have that we don't, but I can't quite
Permission to
get...
be here?
Well, apart from that. How far away was the Ettin body?
Sorry, what?
How far away was the nearest Ettin body?
You don't know?
We have no idea. They ran off into the
We
forest.
don't even know if they.
No, I mean the nearest ones that we killed. There are a couple of. There are
we
dates
didn't
struck
kill
there,
it.
right?
kill
We
him.
didn't kill anything.
Oh no, they didn't die, did they?
No.
That fight was like 2 days travel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm just pondering. Out
So
loud.
We're assuming they went
miles
in
away.
there.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they say that they had strength to go through?
Jesus fuck.
Maybe.
Can't you bring your magical bird back to you?
He seems to be stuck at the moment, but he's moving this way slowly.
Let's
think-
wait for him then.
I think whatever forces are under that water, we'd have to swim through them. I don't think Ravenous has got the stamina to do so.
Ravenous is now engulfed as time has passed by this swirling vortex.
Oh no, it's under the water.
Well, he's sucked under the water.
Yeah, it is stuck in what you had seen being this kind of twisting thing, as well as what Mr. Anthus had seen move through, with creating the ripples, very slight ripples. Ravenous is engulfed in it. Also, Baker, your cam is frozen for me.
Yeah.
No.
He looks very unimpressed.
Oh, there we go. It's back now. It's back. I refreshed. It's fine.
The moment Ravenous got sucked under, I'd probably take control, or I could command him, right, to try and pull free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably obviously tell him to try and flap out of the.
Okay.
Get the flap out of there.
That is a strength saving throw.
I've got no saving throw options on
It's
it.
just
Should I just roll a
strength. It's
strength
just
check?
strength if he's not got a saving throw.
Yeah, it's just you just roll the strength,
9.
the -4. The
Minus.
little bird struggles, but to no avail. It is still showing no signs of being freed from its constraints.
Does he appear to be drowning, or is he just being held there under the water?
Both.
Both. Well,
I mean, it is using its breath. It doesn't have a very high constitution modifier.
yeah. I mean, at this point, I think I would probably. Let me just see what I've got on me.
For all
I've got
intents and
cross-
purposes, Ravenous is in the process of drowning.
Yeah, I would
While
probably.
being constricted.
I would probably try and Eldritch blast that section of water.
Okay.
I guess.
Alright. Make a spell attack roll with disadvantage.
Roll it again.
Another 15.
Right.
Do we want to help him do this? Because I feel like we're just watching him like.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, I'll
15 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Wow. 8.
Alright. Have you ever described your Eldritch Blast before? I don't think you have.
No, I have not. It's like it comes out like a sort of a crackling sort of purple light that you'd almost mistake for something pleasant.
Okay.
Like it almost like as if imagine Tinkerbell flying at you really fast, but
Yeah.
purple. And
Okay.
and then on impact, it sort of just crackles into like a ball of.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like purpley lightning falling
Alright.
out.
So as the purpley lightning strikes true at this creature, the lightning engulfs the creature, creating an outline that you're all able to see momentarily of a worm-like figure before it dissipates and Ravenous is still encased within its grasp.
Does it at least splash the water or parts of Ravenous can take a breath and last another 6 seconds?
No.
Oh fuck. Someone help me, I don't want Ravenous to die.
Alright, I'm gonna wander up to you and cast guidance. You are guided.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't exactly know what I can do as I am not exactly magical.
Just dismiss
And there
the
is
bird and
no
bring it
way I'm
back.
going in that water. Exactly, I agree. Just dismiss him. It doesn't take that much to call him back, does it? I think
it costs
I don't
nothing when he's dismissed.
Costs
right?
nothing. If he's still alive, you can
Yeah.
dismiss him and bring him
Oh, I
back.
didn't know. I presumed I'd have to recast it.
As
Okay,
long as that's only if he's dead, or you want to change the body that he has.
Ah, okay. So yeah, then I will obviously notice that my attempts are fruitful. I will fruitless. I will dismiss him.
Fruit Loop.
So Ravenous, there is a slight puff as Ravenous disappears from view and reappears. Where?
Yeah, somewhere away from the water.
Alright,
Like,
you.
yeah.
Alright. And reappears 10 feet away from you. And there is this kind of sharp inhaling from the bird still, but it's flapping its wings, it is moving, and it is fine.
He takes one look at you and just says, "Dick."
The fuck, bro!
Betrayer!
There's something dangerous in that water.
I would have to agree,
don't say.
considering your bird just almost died.
With a sarcastic squad, I love it. What do you
Says-
think is the wisest thing to do then?
Actually, can I have Bell, Finn, probably Krath, actually.
Huh.
Roll me a... I just gotta look at the thing to see what would possibly be most... Roll a history check for me, please.
Ooh.
The
Guidance.
response, though.
I'm wondering if that's even something Finn would do. Because he doesn't know an awful lot anyway.
But it might be a specific thing, that's why he said you to know.
14.
Alright.
Guidance.
So, very much true to character, Finn does not realize. However, Bell and Krath, somewhere, somehow, you have stumbled upon the sort of information of water elementals that remain unseen while in water, invisible for all intents and purposes. And that is all you get with those rolls.
Water elementals, but not wet elementals.
No, that'd be lava elementals.
Yeah.
Because lava is wet.
Love is the wettest
Do
thing in
you
the world.
share that with the rest of the group?
Yes, he says.
I guess Krath is gonna say, I might have read a book once. I think it might be water elementals.
Oh yes, I think I read the same book. The ones that are wet in water, right?
That's the one.
I mean, it seems like a good place as any for them.
Yeah, it checks out. I think.
Do any of you have an experience with water elementals? Apart from the
do
fact
you-
they're wet.
Yes, do you know if they can be talked to? See if it could grant us passage if we're wanting to go in this lake where the Ettins went.
Would I know that? I assume not. But...
Well, with a roll of 21, I mean, you know that the, I just gotta check, so I'm not entirely bad.
Check so it's
You
not-
know that the language of the water elementals are Aquan, or Aquan, whatever. Aquan. Aquan. Yeah, Aquan.
Wet.
Right.
But when should we speak to them?
They're the language of the wet boys.
Yeah.
They speak bubbles.
Kashi, I heard that role was for you.
Thank you. Someone heard me.
I speak
I
6
didn't hear
languages,
you.
and
Wait,
none of them
what?
are Aquan.
I asked when should we speak to them?
Oh. Okay, yeah, that
That's
was pretty good.
That's good. Good job.
I was proud of that one.
Am I making this up? Is comprehend languages a spell? Or am I
It
making
is,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's
is.
a
It is the spell, yes.
Does anyone know how to comprehend languages?
Isn't
I
that-
I'm
mean,
a
I
monk,
can speak
so-
a couple of languages.
Again, I say I am not of the magical variety, so I'm gonna say no.
Punch things.
I know things.
And I
Wait,
kind of do
Things.
things. This music is far too
Let's
epic.
turn around and go home.
Follow the title.
Well, I thought you guys were gonna do more than stand at the bank and talk, but hey.
Well, we're spinning.
I'll
I
swap
mean-
that. Fuck it.
Clearly,
I mean,
it's scary.
Okay,
I flew my pigeon into it. What more do you want?
Again, I say, I don't think Shia would actually know what to do. She can't do anything against these things.
I mean, Kashi has been debating to try to swim across, but now that we know what's in there, that doesn't seem like a smart thing to do anymore.
Yeah, now we're less inclined to do the music.
Which one of us is the biggest and strongest?
Not I, said the fly.
That would be me.
Said the
Do you mind
flame.
taking
Broad-shouldered Finn.
I don't know. I have
He's
39 HP. I don't know.
scratching his chin.
I'm not particularly bulky, but I am pretty hard to hit.
I
Maybe-
want to try something. I'm just gonna the area where we saw the Ettins go in. I'm gonna make a silent image appear of an Ettin and have it walk slowly into the water.
All right.
It's kind of smart.
Big
See
brain
what
out. Big
Yeah.
brain plays.
I have a thing for this.
Ironically, a big brain play comes from Finn.
It's always the way. Because
Bonga bonga.
it's piloted by one of the biggest brains in our group. That's why.
Here we go.
Why? Who else is playing Finn?
Alright, let me know where you
Ooh.
want this illusionary silent image Etin to go.
Just to sort of follow towards sort of the direction that saw
He's now
up
wetting.
to like the limit of the spell. The limit is 60 feet. So as long as it's 60 feet from me, the furthest point,
Alright,
so it can get to about there.
yeah. So as it makes it to about there, nothing seems to be hindering its movements. The shivering in the water that Amethyst is able to see, it does approach the Etin, but then eventually settles back and returns to its original position.
Does anyone have an Etin costume?
I mean, I can disguise myself as a very, very
Small.
small Etin. But I don't know how we're gonna fix the not breathing on the water issue.
Wait, I have a plan. What if we make it look like your spelly thingamajiggy over there is taking us as prisoners?
How?
I mean, that was the original plan anyway.
Exactly.
How?
We just use your silent partner over there instead of a natural Etin.
I mean, I don't know about you lot. I don't know an awful lot about cat people and humans and elves, but I can't breathe underwater.
No, I'd have to say I do not have that particular skill either.
Can you swim, Finn?
Of course.
Then we can paddle behind it.
Swim them.
Dun, dun,
That was a cheap one. Oh, come on now.
The cheap ones are the best ones.
That's yeah.
I'm gonna bring my silent image back and
Like hookers.
Okay. Towards you.
I
Alright. Unhindered yet again, it stops right in front of you and just stands there.
Can I like stand inside of the image and just be surrounded by the silent image?
That would break the illusion, but you can.
So so I couldn't just you put my arms in exactly the same places because I'm smaller than the Etin.
As I imagine Silent Image, think of something like a hologram or something out of Star Wars or something. That if you stick your hand through it, it would be rippling. Like
Okay.
it would be very clear that it is like an illusion or a hologram or something of the sorts. So you would just reveal its illusionary nature by doing so.
So you definitely couldn't have sex with it.
No, my.
Absolutely not.
No.
That would you'd have to get a major illusion for that, I believe.
I don't think that
or a
would be
girlfriend.
That too.
Yeah.
I think the illusion spell is far more likely though. Like that's far more realistic.
The spell is easier to obtain.
Would not recommend trying to do. Can confirm.
I can say that what Kashi would do is use minor illusion to make it seem like the silent image is making Etin grunts and noises.
Okay.
Let me just check something. No. There's nowhere around this where you could stand where it'd be. Unfortunately, Finn, I think you might have to be one of the party that tries to go forward, because your spell won't reach all the way to the center. I'm willing to give it a go.
Me too.
I can look weak and pathetic.
I'm not as
Just-
confident in that, but I'll try anyways.
She'll sit on the floor doing a Peter Griffin.
Are you hurt?
Exactly. And she'll continue to. She'll act really injured.
Finn doesn't understand that answer.
So you're all, in one way or another, acting subdued to this giant, this Etin?
Yes.
Can I take rope out of my pack and make it look like we're bound? Like, just hand it to each other and they can sort of loosely wrap it around their wrist and hand it down to the next person.
Absolutely.
I love the way that we've captured ourselves.
That's
Well,
Only
no
in
one
D&D.
else was gonna do it.
I got
Only
a
in
wife.
D&D.
I got a wife somehow.
Wow.
Just use the rope. Just use the rope.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome will kick in eventually.
Exactly.
I guess Finn's gonna go at the front, closest to his illusionary Etin.
Okay.
Kashi would be right behind him. Kashi
Kashi
would be behind him with to keep the minor illusion up.
Alright. Do keep in mind the silent image does not create ripples or anything like that. It does not actually interact with anything.
So if I stand in it, will I make it look like it's in the water?
What?
If I stand in
You
it,
said
will
you'd
I-
create ripples if you stood in it, so he's now trying to stand in it to create ripples.
would that if I stand in it and make ripples, would that work? And then I can drag people who need to be dragged into the water.
For argument's sake, seeing the ripple moving towards the end and then letting it pass without issue makes me suspect it's a visual thing.
Oh, we already know this. We're pretending that we don't know this.
Oh, do
We're
we
just
know
doing
this?
this plan anyway, for the hell of it, because it's fun.
Oh.
Let's go.
I genuinely thought the plan would work fine. The plan
Who
worked
knows?
brilliantly.
It'll work.
Right, we move forward. Onwards to glory. The glory awaits us.
As Johnny English would say, the plan worked brilliantly.
Yes.
And as you're
What?
moving further out
The plan
into
worked
the
brilliantly.
the water, Anthus, you do notice the ripples, or these kind of twisted formations of water approaching towards you.
Whoa, no.
They stop 10 feet away from you and follow the movements of you and your party, including the illusionary Etin, until you reach the center of the lake.
Yeah, boy.
Now
Help
we
me!
just have to figure out how to get down to the logs.
What? I just speak underwater!
I'm sorry, I thought I was speaking Aquan.
No, it's a
Really hard to do a fake Welsh accent
lot
while doing that.
Oh boy.
I think we killed No-Go.
I actually love it, but I hate it.
I know. I'd like to
I
sort
figured.
of make myself like little goggles with my hand over my eyes and look down into the water and see.
There is a formation of rocks. Upon closer inspection, you do realize it may have once been a structure or a ruin of some form. I might have spoiled that the last session, but you know that there is some form of ruin or remnants of pillars that have fallen over, and the rocks may have one, or what is rocks now, or like broken, are fallen in roofs and walls and similar, creating this kind of, it appears in one way or another cavernous. Cavernous, not ravenous.
Does there appear to be any sort of entrance point, or can we not tell from this distance?
I gotta go into my Google thing. 18 meters in feet. It's 60 feet away, so
Oh, that's probably out the edge of even my.
yeah, it's 60
Okay.
feet down, right? So it's
Yeah.
it's a little bit hard to see at this distance, through the water and everything.
Put my head up and sort of all of my messy, dreadlocked, matted hair is just like slick to my face. and tell the others. Some sort of building down there. I don't know if we want to go see if there's like a hidden entrance or something. Maybe. I mean, the Ettins have to have gone somewhere. There's no getting away with it.
We could try sink down.
Yeah.
If you dispel the air from your lungs and just sink.
I'm sure that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I caught it, but it wasn't worth a full D4.
Alright. And Anthus, since you're the only one that has, in one way or another, noticed the previous elementals, please make me another perception check.
I'm not going to cast guidance because that uses oxygen. Because, you know, I want to.
You're still at surface as far as.
So I will use guidance then. Guidance. So I'd say 23.
It's a rubbish roll.
Yeah, it's a real
Where's
shit
the natural
roll.
20?
I know, third in a row.
So looking down, you don't recognize the architecture because you're not from here, but you do see what logically in most civilizations would have once been an entranceway that would lead up into a building. However, at the foot of this thing, the cause of the ripples all around you as the waters are not violent by any way, or by any stretch of the imagination, but there is a visible blur in that, like at the foot of the entrance that you make out.
I point there and say, "We go there. Follow me," and then dive.
Okay.
Kasha dives.
Ettin with me.
Big breath.
Yep.
Alright. I guess we're doing this.
And as you're all descending, moving at half speed in water, takes you about
24 seconds.
something like that to reach the bottom of the lake. The Ettin, as he approaches this kind of swirly point that now becomes apparent to all of you, it is hard to describe for me, but the best way I could put it is a living vortex. It's vaguely humanoid in form, looking towards you as you approach with the Ettin. The Ettin being the least of its worries as it looks at you closely.
I wave at it.
There's the
It does not
chance
wave back.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Huh.
Skago's trying to look sad.
So,
Like she's upset she's been captured by a big brain Ettin.
Yeah.
it's Johnny Big Brain.
Jumbo brain.
And
Seems to be moving to block us or just looking at us.
It is currently blocking the way. As you've all been diving down, you do see the kind of hollow crevice leading into this building, as it were, the ruins. This entrance being blocked currently by this living vortex.
Just point at the entrance.
Krath is gonna point at the Ettin and then at the entrance and hope that Finn gathers what I'm trying to say.
No.
Shit.
You're currently, you're still moving in the formation on screen as to make it easy, but the Ettin is currently about, assuming that you're swimming kind of at the bottom towards this opening. You're 15 feet out from the vortex at the moment. So in 6 seconds, you will make contact unless you make it, any efforts to do otherwise. If you're just following the pit, like the beaten path, as it were.
Anybody, any
I think we've
ideas?
just got to keep going.
Can't
I
really-
think we've got
I have
trust.
ideas. We can't really talk.
Trust.
Keep the Etin moving towards.
Trust the process, I think.
Punch the
And,
water.
and as the Etin moves and is 5 feet, basically face to face with this vaguely humanoid vortex,
Slows down a little as it's getting closer, so I can make it stop if need be.
and the vortex shifts out of the way.
Haha.
Oh boy.
Trust the process.
Big
I
brain.
have to say, in the 3 campaigns I've done with you guys, this is the first time we've big brained our way to success.
Yeah, we never big brain. We just push things. We just push things forward. We like.
You can paint do this.
That's not entirely true.
Nope.
We try to big brain, and then it fails almost immediately, and then we just go, oh well, we're here now.
That's,
Then we
that's
small
the-
Yeah,
Hence the
That's
key
D&D.
part of that phrase. First time we've big brained our way to success.
I make the Etin. It's doing little kickies of its feet as it's swimming.
all right.
And
it's
I'm
all-
just keeping minor illusion up to
Doggy
make the
paddling
sounds of
under the water.
and as you're
and
all
I use the
passing
minor
by,
illusion to make the sounds.
right, and as you're moving past this vortex one by one, you all feel. It's a strange sensation. The best I can describe it is
Successful.
a gust of. It's a
Right.
gust of wind, but underwater, that emanates from this creature.
Funny.
And as you enter, it opens up into a large kind of dome that is broken in at places by
A gust of water.
a huge
Episode title.
a gust of water. Yeah. And in the center is a illuminated circle of various symbols and engravings.
Is there any air up above on the? Does there
No
seem
air
to be a
pockets.
pocket of air?
No air pockets. You don't really need to worry. You all have a constitution modifier of at least whatever, and you can hold your breath for 5 minutes, minus or plus your constitution modifier.
It's
You've been
a-
underwater
it's-
for about a minute.
It's a minute
minute
per
and a half, you're
constitution
fine.
modifier, actually. In 5
Minimum of 1, and my constitution
Oh, is
it
modifier
actually?
is 0.
Yeah, it's not 5 per, it's 1 per.
So
Well, yeah, I
have
knew
1
I knew
minute.
it's not 5 per, but I thought it was 5, and then you add the modifier.
Nope.
My mistake.
Mm.
My mistake. Thank you.
That's
So-
why we're panicking so much, because underwater
finish
shit
that.
is spooky, yeah.
Okay, so does any of you have a negative constitution modifier aside from Ravenous?
I think it is a minimum of 1.
Yeah, it's min 1, but then after that it's...
Yeah, but you've been underwater for 1.5 to 2 minutes at this point.
Oh, so even I'm starting to
I
I have a
almost feel
con
it.
modifier of 1.
Yeah, I'm
reaching
going.
my limit.
I'm gonna go back up because I'm gonna drown.
I've got 1.
There you go. Okay, so at this point you're really struggling for air. If you're gonna be lingering any longer, I will be making you roll for it.
Can I
However,
make a dash towards the runes?
yeah, absolutely. And I'll say for intents and purposes, you've dispelled Ravenous as she
Yeah.
would have perished.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to make a dash towards whatever that thing is in the middle. Did you say it was like runes carved into inscription into the floor?
Yeah, most of the members in the party will recognize it as some form of arcane circle.
C in Jack.
I would also
uh,
dash towards it.
Jack's, not Jack's.
There you go.
There you go.
Wrong one. There you go. Going a little desperately. The concentration on the silent image is gone as he's struggling to breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Etin poofs out of existence, and you reach the circle. And as you're all one by one after another, entering the area of the circle, you all find yourself being transported. And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Ooh, wow.
Into another large pool of water.
And we die!
Into a pool of lava.
TPK.
It's worse! It's much worse!
So,
And
I'm still... Okay, so I have like 4 minutes, and so you said it's minimum of 1, and then you just add 1 per constitution?
No, it's 1 times your con, and then the minimum is 1. So yours is 4 minutes.
Oh, mine's 3 then, because I have a con of 3. Okay.
It's not friendly. you will drown. You will die. It's not good.
You'll die.
I love illusions. So it's like, I think they're so underused or undercredited in D&D. I think I've mentioned that before, that it's like, as soon as like, I think it was actually Skittles that came up with the idea, like, hey, just make your silent Jimmy lead us in there. It's like, you remember how you, with my cleric back in Waterdeep, it's like, yeah, this is gonna work. This is nice. This is gonna work.
Yeah.
That's just so... I really like that.
You wanted to do the locate object after making a copy of the head.
Yeah.
The wooden thingy that I can't remember. The Nimblewright.
Yeah. Because he had a very unique feature, if I remember correctly, that Nim had crafted.
Yeah. And I was like, that's okay, yeah. Because otherwise you could have just been walking up and down streets at random
forever,
until hopefully finding something. It's like, you guys have got a plan. Okay. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy an illusions. It's a lot of what Finn's stuff is about. And also beating Anthus to using guidance.
Yeah. Well, was it the most recent upload? I think it's actually is called the gang rolls a d4 or something like that. They're in the brave.
Waiting patiently for more episodes.
Oh, actually no, he's uploaded a new one. Erunia 8, we're back, baby.
That was a month ago.
That was a month ago. I'm real slow. Sorry. Trying to leave one job while setting up the other has eaten a lot of time.
How dare you try to prioritize?
How dare you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the gang rolls of 1d4 was in the when you guys were fighting the Stygian down in the Temple of Ilmate. That was cool.
Yeah, we had lots of d4s there because they had just gotten their guidance cantrips.
Yeah. And let's not forget that the guidance cantrips, exactly, the guidance cantrips is what got you in there in the first place.
Yeah.
Guidance cantrip and Krath's natural 20 and the +4 is the only thing that got us in.
And
I think we beat it by like 1.
And that matched the DC.
Oh, it matched even.
Yeah. The literal only way you guys break that lock is by doing exactly that.
And we fucking managed it.
But I don't know if we have that yet. Wait,
How else were we meant to get in there?
So it was a magically enchanted lock. You could have used the spell magic on it, one way or another, which would have lowered the DC quite significantly.
Right.
Or you could have like broken it, but that would have, kind of like, it would have required something extra. It's not just walk up and hit it until it breaks, sort of thing, right? Because it's magical.
Yeah.
Or you could have, one way or another, convinced Soblob to let you guys in.
Right.
Those were kind of the workarounds or the paths that I could foresee you guys be able to take. And if you would come up with something different, well, fuck it. We'll cross that road when we get there.
Just net 20 and net 4 guidance.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah, so, I literally thought that lock was not gonna be able to be beat, but
We win.
Yeah,
looking at you
crap.
guys' stats, and then it's like, well, guidance, huh? Yeah, that's a thing.
That is eine Spiel.
Just gonna go for a wee real quick.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Hey, started a new book series. So good.
Which one?
Nice.
Called Awaken Online. I'm actually on like this. It's not side quests, but it's like not a spin-off either. It's like a second series of the same world.
Yeah.
So it's basically about a guy that enters into a virtual reality game, and it's like incredibly advanced. But this series that I'm on now, the second sort of spin-off series, a guy, he invents like autonomous driving, and then he invented it, and then during the test run, his autonomous car crashes, and his wife dies, and he ends up quadriplegic, and it's like a really interesting vision of his life going forward. It's really weird, but it's incredible.
Incroyable.
Are you much for old school fantasy, like high fantasy stories?
Yeah.
Familiar with David Eddings?
Some, yeah. I think I've read. I don't know. Let me check my books.
Let me check my books.
Do you have to spell it?
Okay.
Is it but? Oh, so I've got Magician's Gambit, Queen of Sorcery, and Pawn of Proficiency and Castle of Wizardry.
So I realized
Porn
you
of
said
proficiency.
con, but I heard porn. Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
wow.
David Eddings.
Yeah.
I love those books.
I don't know
He
which
wanted to
book
throw
that
as
is.
many fantasy cliches into a book series as possible, and still.
Well,
make
I
it
mean,
interesting.
It's still like, what, 70s? 80s we're talking about? Something like that?
No proficiency.
With David
That's what
Eddings?
it sounded like.
It did.
But if you guys liked it, that was like my first and only actually fantasy franchise outside of like, Lord of the Rings and like Harry Potter and stuff like that I actually read. And there's the Belgarion or Belgarion, I don't know.
Bulgaria. Yeah.
The 1 through 5 series, as well as the follow-up, the Tales of Margoria or something like that, which expands on the story. And then, of course, there's the 2 books dedicated to the some of the main characters, Belgarath and Polgara. Yeah.
I honestly liked his other series about the Knights Templar type people that had little bits of magic.
Don't think I read that one. Belgarath is obviously the namesake of Gareth.
Have any of you read any of Raymond D. Feist's stuff?
Nope.
Imagine having time to read.
Yep.
Oh.
I've been using audiobook recently to listen to Mistborn.
What was the one I sent you, Ace?
I have no idea. I sent you the response. The code didn't work. So I don't know.
Oh. I don't even know what book that was.
I just redeem promotional code. I typed it in and it just, this promotional code has already been claimed. If you think we made a mistake, please contact customer care.
The Elenium series.
I think it was the one with the dungeon, with like the perspective of the dungeon thing. I think it was that.
Let me find it. 2 seconds.
You sent me that, and I've got that downloaded, ready to listen to it sometime.
Like I said, I've been listening to this Mistborn Final Empire. I read the first book, and it was a lot of value for my credits. And I'm probably going to pick the second book after that.
I literally finished that on the 2nd of this month. Final Empire.
I really like it. I had a bit of issue getting into the second one, and now it's been so long, so I decided to, hey, I thought I would just reread it at some point, but then I started using Audible more often, and I got credits. It's a lot of hours per book.
Yep.
Might as
Literally
well.
only read it because he finished off the Wheel of Time series, and that's one of my favourite book series.
Is everyone ready to resume?
You know what? Just this once, I'll say yes.
Alright.
Twist my arm.
So twisting through the sort of non-existent nether of the magics, kind of working around you. Feel yourself being transported. You're not sure where, you have no idea where you are. But as you kind of regain consciousness, some of you may feel nauseous. It's a very tumultuous sort of experience to be broken down into, well, pure energy in a sense, and reconstructed the way you have been You're standing inside a room, well, a hallway, a load-bearing pillar in front of you. The area is dry for the most part, a little bit moldy perhaps, but you're all soaking wet, of course.
Just Finn is on his hands and knees, just retching up little bits of water that he swallowed from his mild panic attack.
Yep.
I reckon Shia and Ansels look hilarious right now.
Yeah, just water dripping off of them.
Yeah.
Anthus probably more so than Shia.
Well,
Very
Anders has got very little hair, so probably, honestly, Shia's probably the most wet cat looking.
And probably Kashi.
Yeah, and Kashi. Oh yeah, Kashi's
Kashi
a
as
cat
well.
as
Are you
well.
more sleeker?
Three very happy cats.
Just three
It
very
is sleeker,
something.
but-
I don't think
But
she'd
not
say
to the
that.
point where it wouldn't be affected by water.
Meow.
But you see what you see.
Should I call back Ravenous?
Yeah.
Shing.
You're able to drag him in yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I was just doing. Plop.
Can we find another way out of this place? Don't want to do that again.
I agree. That was awful.
Can I go through Ravenous's eyes and send him off ahead just to have a peek around while everyone's recovering?
Does Ravenous have dark vision?
I have no idea. I don't know how the bird's eyes work.
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
I
But I
can
figured
give
it'd
it
be
to
fun
him.
to ask.
If you ask Kashi, he could give you to it.
Aha. If it's dark, I'll sort of, start cast the dancing lights cantrip and just start throwing out different balls of light around us, just to try and get just around us, so we can see what's around.
Yeah, I mean, if I
Give us a bit of light.
look,
So each ball gives out 20 feet of dim light, if I remember correctly.
Sounds familiar.
And they have to remain within 20 feet of each other or something like that.
so I mean, if I looked through Ravenous's eyes and couldn't see, I'd come back to the group and say, "Can anyone help with a light source for Ravenous?
And then
You can't see in the dark."
Balin's casted the spell.
Gonna activate my Eye of the Archfey as well. So the golden eye sort of starts to glow faintly.
Illuminating, giving a very unnatural golden hue to the immediate surroundings.
Could anyone offer a portable light source for Ravenous?
The
I can't
dancing lights
see in
have
the
been
dark.
cast.
No, I mean that they could fly ahead with.
Oh.
Like a portable one.
No.
Dancing lights are portable,
Nope.
but
Only up to a
Bell
point.
would have to move with them.
I can give him, her,
120
guidance.
feet's quite a lot, right? Like
Just
that's
give
all the
it
way down there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, as far as Ravenous can see, I'd like to sort of move towards maybe.
so
Yeah.
that's still in range of the light of the dancing light spell. So Ravenous should be able to see where
Like
that is.
You notice two creatures kind of looking at you strangely through Ravenous eyes. They're looking, observing. If you
Can
want
I
to try
tell?
and take a closer look, you'd have to make a perception check through Ravenous eyes, as the light does not fully illuminate them.
Okay, I shall do so.
You still
So-
roll with advantage, but it would be a straight roll because you can't see them. So 11, and then guidance.
No, he's not in range.
No, I didn't.
We
I
can't.
was
We
talking
can't. We
about
can't guide the
guidance.
bird.
Okay.
Has to be a touch, I'm afraid.
Oh, right. Yeah, you see two, 6 feet tall creatures looking at you. The eyes are shining in the dark with a kind of whitish hue, but that's all you can make out. And they're looking directly at Ravenous as she's flying around in this corridor, reaching another hall, a kind of small hallway, but they do not take action. They're observing.
How far away are they?
From you, they're
From
right
From Ravenous.
from Ravenous. One is 10 feet away, and the other one is 15 feet away.
So, can she fly forward another 5 feet and then I'll dismiss her?
Yeah.
So, like, she go and just disappear.
And she does so.
And I'll say, there's some creatures down there.
You remanifest her right next to you, I say. Take it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Can I, in the meantime, sort of just head up to this on the right and see what there is? Just ever
There is a hallway.
slightly around the corner.
You see the back of what looks to be bookshelves. You see bookshelves more to your right as well. There doesn't appear to be anything else really. The kind of engravings on the wall and everything is very strange looking. And as you turn the corner, instantly you meet the kind of piercing gaze of the same creature that Vago had previously kind of seen, and it's looking. Doesn't take action. It stands there.
I'm-
Hello.
Feel that we're about to be in some sort of combat, so I'm just gonna be clicking my fingers and sort of drying myself off, but at the same time, just sort of adding a shimmer to my rags and just casting mage armor.
Okay. Alright.
I'm also going to, with seeing mage armor coming up, because I've got. How long does emboldening bomb last? It lasts a whole 10 minutes. So I'm gonna give Shire and Krath best buddy stats. So so long as they are within 30 feet of each other, they get an extra D4 to attack rolls or ability checks or saving throws.
Heck yeah.
Alright.
So what does this
Once,
creature? Sorry, I'll let other people make their preps.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna say I'm gonna let people make their preps before I.
Alright.
I mean, if they're just observing.
What does this thing look like?
It's roughly 6 feet tall, vaguely humanoid, looks more like a marionette doll. It's clad in very flamboyant colors, has a very wicked grin on it. It is wearing a sort of top hat, very like tattered, not tattered, scruffy hair sticking out from under the hat. It's looking at you with this piercing, mad gaze, and it's wielding 2 daggers in its hands, but it's not raising them, not making any advancements. It's just glaring at you. It's
Big old dopey smile on the face. Hello, we're looking for Agatha. Is she this way?
Uh-huh.
it takes no action.
I
God.
try again in Elvish.
It takes no action.
I try again in Giant.
It takes no action.
I try again in Sylvan.
No action.
What?
I
I
just,
don't think he
I'm
understands
just
me.
gonna start walking forward.
For such a huh. For such a dumb character, you can speak a lot of languages.
So as you enter the peripheral view of this creature, its eye, one of them remaining locked on Finn, while the other one locks onto you, Anthus.
Hot.
And it's just following your movement. Doesn't take any actions.
So he sort of goes cockeyed.
We're gonna go through. Ooh.
So that's sexy.
Oh, he looks cool.
As you walk past, takes no action.
Looks like a sexy lizard.
My favorite type of lizard.
Series.
What is?
Can
What
I
is
possibly
this?
make some sort of Arcana check, assuming that these are, magic in nature?
Absolutely. I just gotta double check thing.
Assuming they are magic in nature, that would be my immediate.
They look like they're more tragic in nature, but that's
Yes.
just me.
Boo.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Go
even
ahead.
deserve
Go,
a D4.
go ahead and make a an Arcana check, please. I just had to double check my notes.
Oh
real
my
quick.
goodness!
You
No,
had guidance.
I'm wet. Like
Distracted.
Wet and
I'm
distracted.
distracted.
Don't you have guidance?
Moist.
Does that make you water if you're wet?
No,
And
it
as
makes
you-
you the opposite.
As you
It
go
makes you
deeper
lava.
into this library section, you reveal a kind of, I want to call it inner sanctum, where there is a large skull of some horned creature mounted on a kind of pedestal in the center of a kind of encased room created by the bookshelves themselves. But the skull doesn't seem to be anything other than that. And another one of these creatures come into view, and same as before, it locks both eyes onto you, and if anyone else enters its view, the eyes kind of separate themselves and observe each of
Like a
you
chameleon.
one way or another. Yeah.
I'm gonna
That is not creepy. at
ping
all.
out detect magic.
They are very much magic in nature. Several books and tomes within the bookshelves are magic all over the place. The skull itself has a very faint magic aura to it, but that seems to have been residual to the creature that it once was, rather so than any reanimation or anything similar to that.
Okay.
I can't see anything anymore.
I don't think you have your dancing lights actually on the map.
I can't even see my token.
Mm,
Yeah, your
It actually-
appeared, so you might need to.
It's up at the. I see it at the very top, but
I'm gonna double check. Your token has disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah, where did you go?
Your token has just poofed out of existence, so I'm gonna just put you back on the map, and you should be able to see again.
No! Valen! No!
Are you able to see now,
Here it is.
friend?
Yep, thank you. I was gonna say I was right behind Anthus, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
So
I'm gonna point out some of the books that have magical auras towards right, Belle.
Yes,
Obviously,
yes.
a lot of base magic in this place.
Don't go going candy store quite yet. I don't see. I don't. They're not attacking, and I don't know why.
No, I have. We can always come back, but I like to just see what's here.
window shopping.
Kasha just leans in. I think they're books. Like,
Kyrie
not,
would
it's not
love this
window
book.
shopping, it's book shopping.
So, Bell, you're walking around collecting the books that Finn are pointing out to you, I take it? Kind of
I'm-
having a glance, or...
Yeah, I'm just sort of looking around, seeing what they are. What sort of titles have we got?
I'm not gonna name you any titles, because that would be
It's fine.
Matthew Mercer level of preparation.
The
No.
trials and tribulations of Tarry and Darren being.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, you do find several of the tomes, they have insignias from various eras of Erunia that you, in one way or another, are familiar with. Some even carrying the ancient kind of mark of the Charkian civilization, which is that of a blazing sun. Some of them having even what you would now recognize as the usurper's insignia, the blazing sun with a pentagram, with the sun flaring out from the pentagram itself. It is a vast collection of tomes of arcane knowledge, very vast and various fields. Everything from alchemy to transmutation to evocation, necromancy, everything. And there are research notes within the pages, and all of them seems to, in one way or another, have a similar, if not exact same handwriting.
Is there a book called Bronze Guide to Adventuring that's like a tenth of like the book is actually writing and nothing else in it is?
and then the last page is
It's all burnt, yeah.
Yeah, still too soon.
Upon hearing the
Yeah, that one is there. That book is
the
there.
type of books that are in the room, I'd pocket a few, and
I would like you to specify either now or in a DM later what subjects.
yeah, I will do.
Been covering.
And then I'm gonna. Oh my god! Well, I hope this person would like to give this place up because I could live here for a while.
Oh yes, under the water. What an ideal place to live.
I mean, if it's difficult to get to, we won't get any Jehovah's Witnesses.
And as you're digging through the kind of books, pocketing some, go ahead and make me an investigation check, Bell, please. Or anyone else too that is going through the various tomes and books, scrolls, everything.
Watch out!
I was just wondering if I had any idea what sort of animal this skull might have belonged to.
That would be a nature check.
Can I remember what description I got of the book from
Watch out!
the crazy old witch?
It is draconic in one way or another, Finn. That much you know.
So that I can...
Yeah, can I?
With my readings, would I have potentially come across any experience where, people have lived in this sort of undersea bastion? Whether it be kids' tales or like, adventurers' guides or, whatever else. Is this what I'm saying? Is
some
this
sort of Sebastian under the sea.
Under the sea.
Sir Beth. Well, the closest that you would get to this is, it's not entirely unheard of. Usually practitioners of the arcane that seek this level of seclusion or secrecy or isolation is practicing magics that is generally not seen as lawful or ethical in nature, and the secrecy and the isolation comes more as a byproduct from that type of thing. But under the sea or under the lake and everything like that, and it doesn't, it doesn't have any folk tale or anything to that.
Cool.
So
So I think as I'm going round, I think it would become more and more apparent that this is, the hideaway that you're talking about. The looking at all the different types of magic, or looking at all the different, sort of how away it is from normal civilization. I think it would become more and more apparent that this is kind of mad wizard territory, mad witch, mad wizard territory.
yeah.
Sort of leaning on my history a bit.
Well, while they're
So-
looking around, can Shia
Before-
just like
Shia, I would like you to remember exactly what it is you wanted to do. But I think it was Skittles that said something about a description of a book that you wanted to try and recall some way.
Yes,
or form.
I'd like to try and recall the description I was given from the mage lady of what her book their sister stole looked like.
You accurately recall it. Can make an investigation check to see if you can find the book if you like.
No.
No, you do not find it.
No, too late.
And Shia, I apologize again. With your investigation check of 16 Bell, you find 3 scrolls that stick out to you. They had been pointed out by Finn, but for some reason these catch your eye specifically, and you decide to go nab them, even if you had focused on other books previously. After very quick sort of open up of the scroll, rolling it over and examining the glyphs and everything, you do realize that these are spell scrolls for the spells Tasha's Hideous Laughter,
Yeah.
a spell called Blight,
Oh.
Oh.
That's what I
And-
used in the last session of mine. Yeah, sorry.
and a spell called Agonazar's Scorcher.
Oh, that's a good spell. Sheena had
Not
that.
familiar.
These are very hot spells.
Upon discovering these spells, I would like you to make another investigation check.
Oh shit. Patrak. Ugh, too busy.
Yeah,
The
you're
Pachar got
you're
you through.
you're completely and utterly consumed by this wealth of knowledge and these spells scrolls.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
You're unable to find anything else. Now, Shia, I apologize.
Well, I was just gonna say, while they're looking around,
Mhm.
being nosy, she's actually just gonna try to figure out, is there another way in or out of this area? Like, are they possibly being watched? What is the danger level that is probably gonna come, considering they're being watched by whatever that thing is?
You're not moving your token, so I'm not sure exactly where you
I
are.
don't actually know where people are either, so it's
We've
Oh, right,
moved
you
down
don't have-
here.
You don't have dark vision,
I don't know.
but I
You don't?
should have given you sight by default.
Shouldn't you have dark vision? Because I have dark vision.
I don't have dark vision. But hold on.
Is this one of those things where like different Leonin stat blocks?
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember that.
Oh yeah, no. I remember. We added it later on. Originally, she didn't, and that's just what I remembered.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
different Leonin stack blocks. Yes.
Yeah. It's just like, where are you when you're trying to figure this out, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I assume she's just trying to like. So like the books are all in here, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a staircase here. So she'd like probably just wander down this way, see if there's anything else lurking around.
Okay. You
Yeah.
encounter more of these kind of silent, stoic, inanimate almost, apart from the head turning and the body turning to follow your moves. They don't take action. They're just glaring at you with this maddening gaze. But you get you draw the conclusion that the magical circle that you used to enter is also, as of now, your only option of getting out from here as well. That is the conclusion you draw.
Okay.
Should I make another look for that spell book, please?
Sure. Go ahead and make me another investigation check.
That's better.
You do not find it.
Impossible.
I didn't expect to find
Impossible.
it.
At least you've confirmed that you can't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've confirmed that it's going to be in her fucking possession.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like one of those anime character things where it just keeps in her cleavage.
Oh,
Like half
boy.
the multiverse.
Good luck
Well.
with that one.
Oh boy.
As you...
It's nature's pocket.
Huh?
It's not a pocket. It's gross. That's you sweat there.
As
No,
you've
it's
been
a-
pocketing
it's a
the
subspace.
spell scrolls and the books and everything, you do get the impression that you are, being focused on by these creatures whenever you enter or exit their view, as they do not move. They do not make any attempts to follow, interject, or block or obstruct your movements throughout the library or the rest of this area. Yeah.
Can I take a look at what these are? Are these anything, or are these just scenery?
Those are load-bearing pillars.
They're pillars. Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Because I was just gonna, jump on each
yeah.
one.
Stairs.
Just out of interest, Ian, does there appear to be any sign of like moisture on the floor or the ceilings that would indicate that we are under the lake still somehow, or
Moss.
does it? When you said earlier that it was dry,
Yeah.
did you just mean that there was no water, or that it's actually
Yeah.
all seemingly dry?
I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, you would notice that there are clear signs of you having been transported deeper beneath the lake. Yes.
Okay.
Or at least,
Cool.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
Reasons.
Cool.
There are stairs this way. Watch out. Oh, it's a bigger room.
I'm gonna move to catch up with the rest of them.
I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, do we want to just call out for someone? Like, we're here to talk to Agatha, right? Or do we just want to call her out and be like, hey, we don't want to intrude,
Yo,
Do you
girl,
think-
what's up?
Do you think it was her all along?
We just want
Obviously.
the book that you stole. Yeah, that's going to go really well.
I mean, I'm sure.
Also,
that she
May,
is a
you stole that.
reasonable
I've been
person.
sitting on that this entire time. I was waiting for when she showed up.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I don't get it. Here,
It's fine.
Yeah,
So
you don't
here,
have to.
as you reach this, I assume Vago is with you guys too. I see you're occupied with your phone.
Sorry, I've got work hassling me,
That's fine.
as per usual.
It's alright, bro.
Damn them.
So as you reach this staircase, as you getting to where Anthus is, there is a clear
the fuck are you
change. They're into the right there, yeah. There appear to be some form of blockage that you're unable to get past. However, you're able to see through, and what you see is more of these creatures standing out in the corner of your view, as well as two large portals that you can currently see that is crackling with shadowy / arcane energy. They're oozing malevolence.
jeez. Oozing malevolence. I'm sure these are fine.
Yeah, I think these are
Yeah.
fine. Let's go
I
find
mean,
the
you
other
literally, you
Let's
know
throw
how
a
it
dead
is.
body through
You
'em.
take one look at something, it's like, yeah, that's bad business. That's the
Yeah,
feeling you get.
let's just leave that alone.
one. What's this way? Right. Anyway, just do we want to just announce ourselves? Like, I feel like
feel like she'd already know we're here.
yeah, but she might think we're trying to be deceptful. So if she like, I don't particularly. I am This is not my first language is Leonin. Cut me some slack.
I mean, it's not like we've done anything to make her angry at us.
No, I'm not. We specifically speaking, we haven't killed anything related to her at all. The rock may have unfortunately killed those Etin, but other than that, we've been trying to do this amicably.
And we just borrowed those spell scrolls.
I mean,
What spell scrolls?
I mean, we can always bring them to her and say, "Are these for sale?" I'm sure she's reasonable. Oh, I think we found her bedroom. Oh, I'm so sorry. It looks like we've intruded.
This looks like an open inviting shop, this place.
Does it though? Does it really? Does it really?
Not
I
in
have
the-
rigor.
this.
I have rigor.
That's where the barrier is, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, weird. Jesus. It's fine.
No, someone said I found her bedroom, so I assumed
Yeah,
that
I
they
was like,
moved forward.
I don't understand
Yeah.
where they went.
We
They went up
back,
and around
back
this way.
around and left.
So this is the problem with everyone just moving their tokens independently
Yeah.
without making any form of announcement or
I go with
anything
the
of
group.
intent. But
All right,
you
all
guys,
right.
do you? It is fine. Krath and Kashi, Anthus as well, have in fact discovered what appears to be a bedroom. Very simple, very plain. The creatures are looking at you, observing, while the bed is, lavish in design and the cloth and everything is of high standard. It's not highly decorated. The same kind of engravings in the wall with various arcane symbols. That's what you see.
Any
as well as
books?
the bookcase. There is bookcases.
Can I look for signs of the book?
Absolutely.
Can I help?
Yep. Roll with advantage. So roll again.
19?
19. You do not find it.
19.
You do find books.
I'm not interested in stealing from a mage.
One of them looks really interesting, actually. Maybe Belle would be interested.
No.
Wizard witch.
What's that you got there? That's fancy.
Do you hand the book over?
Yeah.
Belle? Alright.
And this is
So
gonna
Belle.
go. Are we really trying to steal from someone that we're trying to bargain with?
I mean, I don't intend stealing. I mean, this is all good information. And just start.
Ranting.
Just open it up
Making
and have a look.
excuses. Yeah. So, as you open the book and you start reading, there are research notes yet again. However, these are very explicit. They are gruesome.
Yeah, they are.
They are awful examples of experimentation made on humanoids, civilized races, as it were, describing the almost hauntingly familiar details. As you look at the notes, you see
Backstory!
you see the signature of one Marmaduke.
No! And I think you see the sort of smile just disappear from her face, just begins to start recognizing sort of handwriting, and just turns even more ashen than they already are. And their sort of mouth just hangs agog, and they're just entirely sort of entranced by what they're reading. And I guess that's what you see. It's nothing pleasant.
You are
Everything all right, Mr. Bell?
I don't think we should be here.
What gave you that idea?
No. Let's get this book and leave. I have no idea. I'm just entirely lost for words.
Okay. From what little you had read before noticing the signature, it is of failed experimentations of scarification, acting as a sort of spell book. How it appears that the injuries caused to these individuals in the research does not exactly turn out well most of the time. They either grow sick or they, mysteriously kind of go insane, seemingly without reason.
And with sort of that realization, she's just flicking slowly, kind of looking at the pictures, looking at the detailed descriptions, and will continue doing so until somebody sort of interacts with her in some way or distracts them, whatever, makes a noise, whatever they're doing.
There are illustrations of arms kind of being mutilated by various tools of instruments, and the explicit and gruesome detail of how the engravings act, or how they seek to activate the kind of arcane inner workings, but from human skin, and its transfusion with the blood of the subject itself.
Finn's gonna place his big hand on the book, covering it, and sort of push it down a little bit. Looking at Belle with like actual concern. I don't know what that book's about, but it doesn't look like you're actually enjoying it.
And I just sort of lift my eyes up off the page, and it's just like not there.
Blank stare.
Like entire blank stare. Yeah, those the right words.
If I can, I'm going to try and draw the book out of his grasp.
And they don't let you. This is no. And sort of begins to keep hold of it, and
Maybe save it for later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I get any, as I was sort of putting my hand on it, did I get any image of what the book, the pictures? If there was any pictures, the words are fucking scribbles.
Yeah, there are illustrations, detailed ones. There is no doubt in your mind that you see what I described earlier. Various parts of the stereotypical human body being, in one way or another, tampered with, mutilated, carved into.
I think.
But I haven't seen any of that on Belle, so I don't make the connection to her.
The blank stare sort of comes to a bit of a jolt. I think it's. She was. How can I describe this? you get the sense that she's reliving what is being described. The fact that she's not there, like she's entirely away. Yeah, she's just almost kind of PTSD sort of realizations.
Hey,
if she
hey,
lets
are
me,
you
I'll
okay?
close the book, but keep it in her hands.
Wake up.
To actually close the book.
It's not real. It's a lie.
You're in the Matrix.
The cake is a lie.
If only it wasn't real.
For the bystanders, the kind of ominous or ominous setting that is developing,
Xbox is turned on.
the creatures observing you guys but taking no action, standing, basically all around you at this point, becomes even more haunting in its own way. The fact that they're not doing it, they're
This
only
place
staring.
is creepy.
I think we should keep moving.
I agree. 100%.
And
chase the other
sort of
pass.
with people starting to sort of move and continue and make noise, you sort of see the malaise just dip for a while, and the sort of usual calm demeanor is just sort of absent, and she just seems incredibly on edge. And then I'll stick with Anthus and just.
Is this a door right here?
Yeah, that is a door.
Okay.
It's a door.
Between Anthus and Finn.
It's the Snuggle Buddies.
Yeah.
The fuzzy ones.
Half an hour.
It's okay. It's okay.
No,
We got you.
I'm just gonna keep half an eye on them.
All right.
Let's go this way.
Do we want to see what this door is that you found, Krath?
Trying to opening it. I'm gonna try and open it.
Oh, that's the door.
Why are you smiling like that? I don't like it.
Would I still have my detect magic up, by the way?
You can. It's innately magic. So I mean, you said you'd keep pinging it. So there are magical scrolls and parchments across the bookshelves, but there's nothing outside of that. There's not. The creatures are still giving off the magical pings
Yeah.
as well.
It's just
But
mainly
nothing-
the library
yeah,
up above.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I was just double checking.
All right, Krath, the door.
Yep.
You wanted to interact with the door?
Just turn the handle and try and open it. See
It
if it's
opens.
locked or not.
It opens, and what you see is Darren's wet dream.
Yeah!
There's a toilet! Yeah, boy!
Okay.
You have to.
That appears to be a toilet. Let's keep moving.
Shall we go
What
this
does it
way?
mean? What does it mean? I stick my head in and try and decipher.
I'm gonna go. Okay, never mind.
Should we go this way?
Which way?
This way.
This way.
Oh, it's another corridor. I think it loops around. I think we may have actually examined all of this side of the map. DM, would it be okay to suggest that we just go all the way back to the beginning and try the other side? Just so I don't have to click and drag my character all the way through. If you...
Yeah.
Am I safe to just zoom through and just be like, right, I'm going to go all the way back.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another staircase. Hold on.
You can go
stop.
to this.
I'm
You can go to this spot.
going to stop here because there's a staircase that we haven't been through. This way.
Oh yeah, you can go that way too.
Which way are we going?
Follow me.
Okay.
Here.
Belle, are you here? Belle? Belle!
Coming.
Belle!
Oh,
This way.
Continue down.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. This is coming through. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
More of the creatures coming to view, still making no
What
action.
is this?
This is a
What do the
desk.
shelves look like?
Oh,
That is a PlayStation.
Yeah.
I think I found another door.
That is an Xbox 7 2-inch.
No, it's a corridor.
So, if anyone is examining the objects in the room, from your detect magic, Finn, there are magical books in the bookshelves, but the weapons and armor and various equipments are none of it are magical.
The cool
However,
shit isn't magical. The nerd
Yeah,
shit is magical.
but you know, from a quick glance from people that can read, the books are, you know, various ways of enchanting objects or weapons or armor accessories. There are kind of, you know, the do-it-yourself kind of guidelines, but a little
Can I
bit more
see-
professional.
Can I see the book we're looking for?
No.
Then, what's this place? Is this like a corridor?
That is a corridor.
Is it another shitter?
I'll check if there's a toilet in here.
Sorry, I just have to go.
Guys,
Like we're viewing the house to buy.
I do.
it goes. It
Go
goes on further.
Lead. Do you want to lead the way, or shall someone else lead the way?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Creature shifts his gaze to you as you are approaching, taking no action.
Should just wave at it like, hiya.
Yeah, I'll still do the same. I was just about to say, if I was like a stroppy character, I'd have given it the middle finger by this point, but actually,
Ooh.
I want to be nice. Oh, it's the other side of the portal room. Belle! Belle, where
Where's the dead-
have you gone? Belle!
Where's the dead
I-
bodies to
I-
throw
I-
through?
Finn.
Where are the bodies to throw through?
Wrong character.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to think. Is there? Can I see a barrier this way? What can I see here though? What's this?
This is the other side of the barrier, right? Yeah.
Is there a barrier here, or is this open?
So,
I see a
As you
kitchen!
as you reach this point, you realize that the opposite side of the room, the reason there was a barrier there is for the simple fact that that is not on ground level. It is 10 feet up in the air. This thing. And what you can see is a stone wall.
Ah, so we were up at elevated height.
Yeah. So it appears to be, you know, maybe an observer's platform, something like that.
God, is that to observe a dragon that's in this room?
To observe the things that they're doing to the people. It's like a
Can I peek around the corner?
old,
You can.
old place.
See sneakily.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Oh God. 12.
You're
go.
confident you're hidden.
Just a little. Just a little.
You are confident you're hidden, but all the creatures instantly shift their gaze towards you. And in the center of one of the platforms, or in the center of the platform, stands a female figure.
Oh, hello
You'd have
there.
to guess, Elven. The kind of elven ears sticking out of the hood that she is currently wearing. Even though the
In
eyes or the ears is not representative of that, there are ears there.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she is currently turning the pages of a book in front of, not paying you any mind.
Do I recognize the book?
Talk about goal focused.
Yeah, make me a. It's almost. This is almost becoming the new. Have you seen my teacher?
Have you seen my spell book?
Have
Yeah.
you seen my spell book?
Make me a perception check. There you go, if you don't mind.
I'm looking for a spell book.
That's 12 again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not paying you any mind, so you can basically stand there and look for however long you want. I just wanted you to roll dice. So, you know, time passes, but you do come to the conclusion that the book in front of her is not the spell book. However, at her side, in a chain, there is the described spell book hanging at her hip. That
So-
goes up and over her shoulder.
So if I'm confident I'm hidden, I'm going to sneak back this way.
Yeah, I mean, you're super confident that you're hidden with your 12 stealth roll, but you did notice all of the creatures shift their eyes towards you and observing you, but they didn't make any noise. They didn't make any, threatening movements, nothing like that. They're just looking at you. That's all.
I think Vago's under the impression that even if we were invisible, these statue creatures would still be following us with their eyes. So I'm going to sneak back. Sorry?
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't want to overtalk you. You go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to come back and relay that there's people in there, and one of them looks to be Agatha.
It really was
while-
her all
while
along.
There it is.
Can I just have sort of wandered up to one of these things and just pay it a little more attention?
Prodded it in his good eye.
For a longer period of time, just while he's in doing whatever he was just doing there.
So you can make a second Arcana check with advantage, and I assume one of the people will cast guidance on you.
Guidance.
Okay, thank you.
Pat-
What? It's
Pat them
D4?
on the back and cast that guidance.
Is it 4?
Yep.
Yeah. Jeez. Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
It's better than one.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I think she's still kind of like shaken. While she's sort of investigating, it's not entirely focused on what she's doing.
I do find it interesting that you guys automatically assume it fails because you rolled pretty bad, but the DC is 14.
Yay!
Yeah, but it's pretty bad for me. I think that's
Yeah.
what I was
I mean,
saying.
you do-
I've got a +6 in Arcana. Like I'm kind of. I should be all over this, but my mind's not entirely with what I'm doing.
That is perfectly fine. So, upon closer inspection, you do come to the conclusion that they are constructs, one way or another. They are created, not born.
Are they fleshy?
No. They are not fleshy. They are,
Well, not squidgy.
I mean, maybe, but that seems to be more like, layers of
Okay.
kind of like a flesh golem sort of thing. It's kind
Okay.
of grotesque, but it's mechanical in nature. However, the magic that Finn has been feeling, you're getting the sense that there is, in lack of a better word, human sentience or sentience inside of it. If you wish to dig deeper in that, I'd need another
This-
roll.
Yeah. If I'm feeling that, then yeah, most definitely, I think I would investigate a bit more.
Yeah.
Kind of
Finn is
un-
not aware what you're doing.
unwillingly.
taking guidance.
It's one of those things. It's like picking a scab. You kind of
Yeah.
don't want to do it,
But you
I've just-
can't.
You have
Like I
to-
need to like. I'm a. I say I'm a researcher and I'm magically focused and I'm like, here just a little bit, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Um.
Alright.
Okay. So what did you want? It's another Arcana roll.
Yeah, another Arcana check.
Okay.
Advantage because of the help and the guidance from Finn.
Oh
I think
no,
Finn
I
doesn't know what I'm
don't.
doing.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just saw him go up to look at it, so I gave the first guidance. But anything
Oh,
beyond
okay.
that,
Okay.
I'm unaware.
I'm very into the kitchen, so I'm not guidancing either.
17. That's slightly better.
Yeah. That does beat the DC of 16, so.
Yeah.
I love listen to the music for this. This is
It's very
creeping me
fitting.
out. Like
I love it.
It's very fitting
but-
music.
You're digging into this sort of, you haven't been really touching it previous to this point, but you can't really help yourself from feeling this human sentience or sentience. I don't know how to pronounce
sentience,
it.
you had it right.
Sentience.
Yes, well done.
Inside of this thing. Put your hand on it and try and, again, in lack of a better word, scry what it might be. Turns out it is one point is or could have been human. You're getting flashing images of a grand city. You've seen the architecture before in Auckland.
You gapped there, sorry, in where?
Auchindoun.
Yeah, in Auckland, the kind of peninsula island between the Euleron Empire, leading into the rest of the mainland of Veldoon, where Musia and Vedima are located. So this is Sharkian architecture that you're seeing in front of you, but the city is not dead. It is far grander than Auckland, and from what you can see, things are prosperous. You're looking around, there are, gilded buildings everywhere. Pillars almost entirely made of gemstones, almost like glittering in the sunlight. And then, almost as if pouring acid onto it, the entire image just shifts and twists and rots. And then there is just a massive explosion in your head as this thing seems you're being ejected. As you reach that point, you're being ejected out of this creature's kind of, well, from what you've been able to tap into it, you're being ejected, finding yourself shocked at the tumultuous power at work to create that sort of cataclysm. And that is what you're able to get from that creature. And
Do we see any physical reaction from
Yeah, I
them
think
as...
when for you get one from me at least. Sorry, I don't know.
No, the creature doesn't move, but DM hacks. Like Bell is, as he's being ejected violently, it is a very violent reaction, and Bell can describe accordingly himself.
I think it's just a case that I was almost kind of lazily pawing at it, like, and then just kind of stopped, and then there's just kind of this like sound of just that sort of as if I stopped breathing for a long time, and just this sudden inhalation of air, and then just kind of the again just fuck like just profanity, just as sort of the realization of what they were seeing sort of comes back into being, and I've I potentially was being quiet to start with, but like that feeling just overwhelmed, and it was. Now I'm kind of like, fuck, and just more and more profanity until someone shuts me up.
Next to him, just shh. It's okay. It's okay.
Mhm.
We're here.
Mhm.
You're safe. No.
Debatable.
Sort of steady my breath and just sort of. I don't like this place. I don't like this place, Finn.
I'm
I don't
gonna
like it.
pull out my canteen of water, and pass it over to them to
And-
take a drink.
You know, visibly shaken. They take it, and it just their hands are shaking as they're trying to sort of steady themselves. And like,
Hold on.
something stronger.
I have something stronger. I come closer and I high five you with heroism. Take a deep breath, you'll be fine. You have a minute of being chill.
What's that? Until
You're immune to being frightened.
Oh, 1 minute.
It's imbued with bravery.
Look, you said
And
you
I
wanted
think-
something stronger, so I high-fived you with heroism.
I mean, that's great. So I think the fear goes away, and I can start articulating what I experienced without having, hyperventilating or what have you.
And without that fear, you're able to recall the explosion. It had an origin. It seemed like a beam of pure arcane had shattered the sky above you before you were ejected, and came down straight towards the city, and upon impact was when you had been ejected.
What was
And
the
that is-
name of the city? Did you mention it?
I did not.
Okay, that's cool. I remember you talking about some history stuff, but
It is. It was a Charkian city, which you don't know, but he recognized the architecture from Aachen.
Do we want to just talk to her then? Like, or do you want to run? Like, what is your decision here?
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
entirely
pretty
sure
funny.
this is worth the money we're paying or we're getting.
Well, could we not make a friend out of this person?
I mean, we did come all this way.
If we leave here with our lives and don't end up as experiment cadavers, then we'll have won.
Okay.
And sort of saying it very matter of factly because there's no fear there anymore.
Okay. I trust you. Let's go.
That mage in the shop, she didn't seem to overly feel like Agatha was much of a threat. I don't know if that's the case, but she seemed more spiteful than concerned.
I mean,
She wanted, I don't know how to explain it.
let's hope that this is a student and not the person that's done all of this.
Would you recognize anyone involved in whatever you went through?
Could never forget his face. But Agatha isn't a male name.
I hate to inform you, but there's more than one person in that room back there. Why don't you have a little peek around the corner and see if you feel we're in danger? If your spidey senses tell us to get out, then we'll go for it.
Very quickly, I'd like to ask if anyone wanted to investigate something while all of this has been going on. I know Anthus had expressed some form of interest in
Kitchen! Kitchen!
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Thanks, Dan.
Kitchen.
Always find him in the kitchen,
Kitchen.
at party.
Party.
What do I find? What do I find in the What do I find in the kitchen?
Well, did you go there?
Yeah.
Okay. So upon entering, you very quickly at least assess that this seems to be some form of alchemical station or some form of research thing. It's not, anything else. There are open books planted onto these things with, research notes. There are guidelines. There are, the written books itself. To your right, immediately, there is a pile of gems. Various alchemical regions scattering across the tables in front of you to the right. And to the left, next to the furnace, are ingots of crimson and gold gold shimmering next to the water right here. That is what you find, as well as the 4 small lock boxes surrounding the load-bearing pillar and the one creature observing you as you are there.
Well, I ain't gonna steal anything, so cool. Right, I think if Balin wants us to leave, we should leave. The kitchen's nice. They seem like reasonable people if they've got a nice kitchen. Might as well trust our friend and get out of here.
I mean, let's not jump ahead of ourselves now. Let's. I'm gonna take a look. I mean, I feel quite good. And sort of thinking logically, getting some answers, or being able to sort of piece things together, kind of plays into their nature, I think. So they'll just go and poke their head round and see what's what. See if what they can see, and if from a distance they recognize anybody.
You are doing this stealthily?
No, because stealth would require a sense of fear of what's on the other side.
Or caution. Lack of fear does not imply the lack of caution, I would argue. But it's up to you.
If I think it would. I mean, if you're not fearful, you wouldn't take care.
Yeah, but there's a difference between recklessness and being afraid.
Yeah, the difference is you don't feel the fear, but you can still be logically aware of a dangerous situation. Just you don't feel it instinctively.
It's entirely up to you how you wish to
roleplay,
interpret
how he
being
wants his
without
character
fear.
to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I
could be
still
scared.
don't think they do it. I think they do it stealth, sneakily. I don't think they would try to They're just kind of putting their head round. They're not going.
Yeah.
"Ta-da!"
Yeah.
They're I'm not gonna specifically look to be hiding in plain sight while I'm
Yeah. You peek around and you see the 3 portals, all still kind of reeking of this ill intent or malpractice of the arcane. You see the female figure with the elves. I'll ping her up again.
Where is she? Because I can't actually see her from where I am.
Bump.
Oh, okay.
As with Vago, even though you weren't aware, all of the constructs shift their gaze towards you immediately. Not moving, not saying anything, but they know you're there and they're looking straight at you. Agatha, for all intents and purposes, does not seem to pay you any mind as she's continuously flipping through the pages of the book in front of her, occasionally making a scribble before going to the next.
And I don't recognize anybody in there, I'm assuming.
No.
I mean, there's a lot. Can I make the assumption that this is like a jail?
Yes.
Is that what this is? These are bars. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Bars with locked doors. Preventing any kind of escape. I guess that's exactly what
a
doors
jail
are,
is. Yep.
I guess. Yeah.
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 I sort of turn around. I'm like, no, I don't recognize anybody in there, but there are people in there being held captive. And with this place, I can't see it being for anything good. Do we want to be playing the hero when we're up against?
We can't leave them as captive.
They were already
Unless
captive before we got here. They'll still be captive if we die. Only thing is, we'll still be alive.
You do recall the reason for the Ettins coming down from the mountain to begin with, as well as what the reward was.
If we could heal them, they could ally with us in fighting our way out of here. If the Ettins made them weak, then that tells me that they had some form of power in the first place. They aren't necessarily useless.
Or maybe they were just people that they
And just sort of
took off the street.
And I sort of nod in agreement with Finn. I'm like, Jago, you're looking at sort of. Have you ever been held prisoner for any length of time? Have you ever had your food withheld? Your liberties denied? For any length of time? You may have the will to fight, but you may not necessarily have the strength to do so. Healed.
I've not, but I've bear witness to plenty atrocities in my time. I understand your perspective. But I also feel
as you're saying that, she sort of snaps just as you sort of snaps at you just as you say that. Said, looking at it from the outside is totally different to living it yourself. There's sort of that again, that just cool facade just breaking for a moment before sort of catching themselves and just bringing it back again.
And if someone had the opportunity to rescue you from your predicament and decided against it to save their own skin, would you have appreciated it?
People may have tried. As far as they knew, I was dead. I wasn't even there. I mean, yes, I would have loved my white knight to come in, but I mean, how strong are we versus how strong they are? Are you willing to pay that price? If you're wrong?
I mean, the point being that if we don't try, we won't know. And I don't know if I could live with myself, knowing that innocent people are going missing every time an Etten walks past. Your family or friends could be next, dragged to this place, and she looks you up and down like tortured. I don't know about you, but I couldn't in good faith just turn around and leave. I'm going in there, whether you're coming or not. And she'll sort of make this step past you. You lot leave if you like. And she's not going to burst straight out, but she's going to take a step and wait for them to decide whether they're leaving or coming.
I'm gonna turn to Diego and just be like, do you think it's worth trying to reason first?
I mean, conversation always trumps violence, in my opinion.
That's enough for me. Antas is gonna just start walking out and just be like, excuse me! Hello! Holy shit! Holy shit!
I did say they were others.
Yeah, I didn't
I mean,
see how many as others, but I've done it now.
yeah, but these ones are the prisoners.
Yeah. Hello! Excuse me! Hi!
One moment, please. And she holds up one hand
No problem. Sorry, we'll wait here.
and turns her page.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Doesn't even look up, by the way.
Mhm.
She is.
Well, she's busy. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
While
so
she- If she's just continuing to look through the book,
Hmm.
can I sort of get a bit of a better idea of perhaps what ritual or what, what is currently in process, if I'm noticing anything familiar or, that I've read about?
Okay. Make an Arcana check. Let me double check something first.
Yep.
Arcana check with advantage, please.
Oh, that's worrying. Hold on.
Yeah, you're noticing a pattern of when I give you advantage
19.
and guidance.
No, I'm too far.
Guided?
I
Oh.
don't know if Anthos did.
I thought Finn did it. Apologies.
Antas is not casting any spells here at the moment because he doesn't want to seem threatening to his now hopefully new friend.
Am I right in thinking, before we carry on, that everyone on the other side of this wire shit is prison?
Yes,
Oh, there's
they
a lot
are.
saying.
They are, in every single stereotype you've ever heard of, they are prisoners. There are bars in front of them with locked doors.
There's a screech.
But I
as well.
question what is this right here.
Those are bags. Well,
I would attempt to crouch and hide behind them.
okay. Go ahead and roll me
There.
a stealth check.
Croth and Shire probably don't have the buff anymore, considering it's probably been way over 10 minutes.
Yeah, that is something I was going to point out as well. Shaya, are you moving in or are you still in the bathroom?
Bathroom itself.
Better be a
Still-
yes.
Yes.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
I'll okay, put yourself where you wish to be, and I'll remove the buff. As well as the heroism, it lasts for up to 1 minute. It has worn off, and you are now you
Shit
are
scared again.
But I still have my mage armor on, so that's what that's.
yes. It's like 8 hours or some shit, right? All right. 14 on the stealth check of Kashi, noted, and okay.
I am a stealthy kitty.
And as you kind of
You're a stealthy kitty.
so Kashi,
That's
interestingly
what I
enough,
said. I am a stealthy kitty.
interestingly enough, there are a little bit of an eeriness to where you find yourself right next to the portal, as this kind of shimmering energy of shadow and arcane is almost clouding your mind a little bit, but nothing that requires anything beyond that. Bell, you rolled a 19 on the Arcana check.
Yeah.
That does beat the DC. I just gotta find where I wrote the information. So, the magic at work in the portals are primitive. Primitive, but extremely pure in its practice. You recall what Beretta had told you about the Charkian glyphs and their way of practicing magic, as they were devout worshippers directly to their patron goddess in Mistra, the goddess of magic. So they are extremely potent and definitely Charkian related. As for what the ritual is, I mean, you're getting a very mixed feeling from each of these portals. It seems like each portal is intended to do one thing, but they don't do the same thing. They're intended for different purposes. As for the ritual itself, looking over the scenery with the commoners and everything, you can probably see from there are grates in the floor, allowing them to relieve themselves, even if it is very indignified. Cauldrons in the center of each of the rooms, and they just look malnourished. They look not abused, but some of them are carrying visible scarring upon their bodies. That is a hint towards what experiments might be in practice here. And eventually, Agatha finally raises her gaze towards
Big dopey smile and wave.
Hello! Nice to meet you. We met your Etten friends. Down. I do worry that they may have been hurt by a rock. The voice is gone. I do worry that they may have been hurt by a rock, and I truly am sorry if they have died. We tried to save them, or at least we tried not to harm them as best we could. They tried to kill us, but we didn't want that to happen. Anyway, my name is Anthus. It's a pleasure to meet you. I was wondering if you'd be interested in some trade.
trade. I'm aware that none of the Edens returned. As I was informed that you entered here alone. Searched through my private chambers, as well as my library.
Mm-hmm.
You specifically also took a look into my alchemical lab.
I know, it's so cool! I should get one of those for myself, really.
They go a step forward and be like,
Amazing.
"Forgive us, we were lost in this labyrinth of a place you have here."
But we found you, so that's great.
I wasn't hiding.
Yes, but we didn't have a map. You should install one of those at the front door, so someone can find you easier.
Well,
How
normally
else?
people are being escorted when they get in here.
Well,
Say,
Well, we did. Our friend here, and I'll point at Finn. He speaks Etten, and they agreed to bring us to you. But
the Rock, yes.
the rock, yes.
Well, and we don't speak bubble, unfortunately, so we couldn't communicate with your water elemental friends either. We just
I was curious about that. How did you get past the water weird and the invisible stalker?
Oh, well, I would actually recommend you upgrading your defenses, because if someone just makes an illusion of your Etten friends, they just walk straight through.
She lets out a frustrated kind of exhale at this.
I know, right? See, we could help you test it if you want, part of the, trade and such. Anyway,
Well, unfortunately, that has very
It's
little
always
to do
helpful
with.
to have a fresh pair of eyes.
of course. Oh yes, I see. Wise decisions from my friend over there.
I'm afraid it's just an inherited weakness in the type of defense that I've chosen to employ here. Elementals being fickle in their dealings with their summoner and master, as it.
What you really need is some guards with skepticism, because then at least these magic users won't be able to, just saunter in. Also, install a doorbell. That would really help.
Well, you've been looking at my doorbell since you entered.
Oh, the boys, the folks. How do you ring them? And I'm just gonna start walking up to one. Do they have like a doorbell on them? Do they?
I did say hello to them, but they
Yeah.
didn't say anything back. So
I saw. You also speak quite a few languages, do you not?
I mean,
I
yes.
You?
I noticed. But you were speaking of trade. Mind keeping the distance, as she points you back to the place where you had previously stood.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There you go.
5 feet back.
Oh, sorry. I'm missing an eye. Depth perception all over the place.
Sure.
What
Trade.
what an interesting place you have here.
Thank you.
What exactly are you doing?
Practicing. Researching. Experimenting.
I love
Trade.
research.
So we were brought into the awareness that you had a book that a friend of ours needed. So what could we offer to you that you would happily trade said book? And also, no, that doesn't work. Anyway, other things. What about the? You had some scrolls in some of your library things. I think my friends wanted to partake in those. What could we trade for those?
Well, he's already liberated them from my library.
No, like a shopping cart.
Already been...
Like a shopping cart, we've brought them to you to present what we'd like to trade. We haven't left the building, we could have easily looted, but we've brought them so that you can show us what we can purchase.
Does this have like no sense of danger or what's going on here?
Vega's
Yeah.
going to step forward and sort of speak over and be like,
Yeah.
the book, what about information?
Excuse me?
Would you
Information?
trade information for your book?
No.
And just sort of seeing the attempts being made, and I'm gonna try and what's the word? Parlay with somebody on a more intellectual level. And
Finn
just
shuts
sort
his
of
brain off.
step forward, and I start by saying, it's clear that we are. It's clear to see that we are in the presence of a fine magic user, someone that has put a lot of, and sort of bring out the book, a lot of time and study into the powers that sort of the powers of the, what was it, the what were they called, the Sharkian symbols, and the certain scarification of bodies, and it's something that I perhaps could shed some light on if you catch my drift. Why? You tell me. Why? Just one thing first. You have that book that belonged to insert shopkeeper's name, creepy shopkeeper's name.
Beretta.
Beretta, that's the one. Yeah, gun Beretta. There you go.
Uzi.
A certain wizard Beretta has requested that we liberate said book. Now, I'm going to assume that is a book of spells to which you're not going to want to part. But why would Beretta send us here to take you on? Why do you have said book of hers?
Well, I stole it as a act of revenge towards the betrayal that she put on to her by then apprentice.
Yes. Again, another familiar story. One's apprentice falling foul of one master's hard work.
Well, she had her uses rather. The new benefactor has proven quite a bit more fruitful in his apprenticeship, or mine to him.
And I'm going to assume, by the work that you're doing, the name, would your new benefactor be teaching you this scarification techniques?
In a matter of speaking. Not directly. He had already commissioned others across Euleron, the rest of the continent of Eldoon, to carry out these experiments for him. But none of them proved fruitful, as all subjects, in one way or another, has crumbled and lost their purpose amongst the living.
And what if I told you that there is one that perhaps hasn't?
I'd call you a liar. Very
Is that
bad
a way-
one at that.
Last thing you do. So let's remain civil, shall we?
I'd suggest you do, yes.
Let's talk about your benefactor. This would this be the trying to how to put it menacingly, but basically, would this be forgotten his full name now. That's really bad, isn't it? Duke such and such. Duke. This wouldn't be a certain Beaumont, would it?
No.
No.
He is
Then there are others.
a disappointment, you could say. For years, my master carried out, invested vast amounts of resources to fuel his research, of which I am forced is putting it lightly. I am required of my master to carry out the rest of his research as he is unable to do so himself. And you see the mask shift a little bit as you notice she's very satisfied with herself, shouldered the mantle of this Beaumont.
And what would you have? Why would you have stolen said book and be looking at keeping hold of it? I don't foresee Beretta's magic being of the type that you would particularly enjoy, the same way you do with what we're doing here.
That is true. She laid the foundations, and I built upon it. The teachings that she brought to me is the previous uses of her. She led me to a point where a more worthy master could have me as his apprentice.
What if I was to make a copy of your book?
copy?
Yeah.
Out of the
I
question.
mean, why?
Not enough
You get
gold.
you. You'll get
Yeah, not enough gold for paper and ink.
it doesn't necessarily need to cost you anything.
Are
You
you
get to keep.
familiar with how spellbooks work?
I'm not necessarily going to give her a spell book. I'm going to give her a visual representation of a spell book.
And you think that she would not recognize the spellbook of which she's had in possession over centuries before you were born?
So I'm going to play on the whole ego thing and say, do you not think that she thinks you powerful enough to disenchant this book?
Well, why would I disenchant my own spellbook?
Well, to spite her? You
No.
know she wants it back.
I do. Now?
Prerequisite.
So
I'd
what would
imagine she has a new one.
so what would kick her in the face more than knowing that you've destroyed it?
Well,
Destroyed
it is
its
mine
magical
now.
properties.
It is mine now. It would be destroying my own spellbook. You're familiar to the value of which a spellbook is to a wizard, no? I sense within you some magical properties, but you're not one of study and dedication. You're born into it.
I study and I'm dedicated. I just don't study magic. I study people, and everyone has a price. What is it you want? What's your ultimate achieve? What's your aim? What are you trying to achieve?
To serve my master,
Which is
carrying out the research he has beset upon me.
and how could you achieve this goal?
By not being interrupted by idiots like you lot.
Hey, now that's not very nice. We're here to trade, and you're being incredibly rude.
You forget yourself, Leonin.
Nope,
You're
I
in
don't
my lair.
particularly.
And from one arcane user to another, for you to have taken Beaumont's place, Beaumont had to die, correct?
Yes and no. He is among us.
And I sort of gesture to the automatons, like your friends here.
I'm not familiar with how my master produced these things, but they are useful indeed.
They are impressive.
I'd say so.
Now, the book and your master's name, please, so that we may continue and get out of your hair. I mean, you can't be the only one that has the time to study. I mean, if you're all that he's got, I mean, can't be that powerful, can he?
I'm just one of many. However, the book will stay with me. The spells and the incantations within it that Beretta, my dear former teacher, had beset upon it as well, they're still in there, but I have taken it as my own, expanded upon it, refined some of her work. It is, by all intents and purposes, no longer hers, as more contents within it are mine instead of hers.
What side of Drewbeck's coin do you fall on?
True. What do you know of wrath?
Sorry?
Oh, what?
Huh. What of
I didn't hear
Trubeck?
this. Well, are you allied with him or against him?
By necessity, I would assume that I am on his side. As despicable and brutish he may be.
The same way we're on our side, on his side, to not be on his bad side, right?
Not exactly. I would sooner see someone else take his throne. I think our master sees a little bit too much potential in it.
Still very vague about who it is you serve.
Well, if you don't know who he is,
I'm
then
thinking he doesn't actually know who he serves. He can't know everything, can he? I mean, he's just a wizard living in a hole under the ocean, surrounded by soul-filled automatons with, you know.
Yeah, Vega's going to turn to. Sorry, Vega was going to turn to Bell and just join in with your conversation, like talking about her. Be like, yeah, she can't be very important if there's many of them.
alright,
I mean,
so
if it's just one.
in the lack of a provocation check existing.
Intimidation.
I tried playing to her ego.
Yeah, and I noticed, and that is why I'm putting this to what it is. Vago and Bell. Compare your persuasion / deception. Persuasion / intimidation checks. Whichever has the highest will roll with advantage because of the assistance of the other. As a provocation check does not exist, I simply want you guys to roll with the highest stat that you have available to out of those two.
I have an 8 in persuasion.
You go, because funnily enough, I'm not a talky person.
Okay.
I have a 3.
28.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
So as you're saying this,
Oh god.
Yeah, we just died.
on now,
Like, it was fun, but
Krath, you recognize the sort of shifty of milky white beneath her hood as she opens her eyes, and they are glaring directly at Vago.
Huh.
The usurper does not tolerate transgression within his sanctum. You are no longer welcome and will either be forced out by my hand or by your own choice. Trade is declined indefinitely.
what was that last bit? Sorry, the trade is what?
Declined indefinitely.
And let's be honest, we knew this was coming, but perhaps
What was
I'll
coming?
just take your place under the usurper. I mean, look at you. I feel like Belle's just kind of like, behind behind Jago, because obviously he rolled the intimidation check.
Would I know who the usurper is?
You've heard of the usurper several times.
Yeah.
It is that is the insignia of the pentagram with the blazing sun. That is the holy symbol, as it were, of the usurper. Well, yeah. You know, there's connection to that to...
I actually have that, don't I?
Oh.
There's connection of that to
That's something.
the fourth seal that you noticed, and you have the dagger wearing his insignia.
That's the dagger I've got.
In the... What's it?
Is that the dagger that I've got?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go all out persuasion here.
Okay.
Let me get my notes. I've got this definitely written down, so I can actually pull something out of my bag here. Maybe.
Yeah, while
Potentially.
while you're looking that up, Krath, what did you?
No,
You had
it
something?
Was, I mean, I wanted to say something about the medallion, but I don't want to metagame.
Oh,
Oh shit! It's not on these notes. Is it Cedric?
I want to
No.
ask Agatha how she got the casks into the cellar of Mountainside Manor, because she used to own that house,
yeah, she did.
and I want to know.
She-
I don't want. I'm not going to ask that. Actually,
Um,
it's just me
Oh.
thinking about going through my
Uh,
own
Yeah.
notes and going,
wait,
"Oh,
it's
she
a-
owned the manor."
It wouldn't be metagame to walk up and whisper to Belle, see if she wants to trade the medallion we found. That guy did mention the usurper too.
Can I quickly ask? You know, in my session 0,
Yeah.
what was the guy's house that I robbed called?
Fourth Seal Manor.
Okay. Could I attempt to? I'm going to say something along the lines of, "You yourself will know that the usurper works in mysterious ways. Maybe there's more than just trade that we have here. Maybe some of us have been sent on other business, and I'm going to, well, pull out the dagger
Okay.
and say, you know what this is?
A ceremonial dagger for human sacrifice.
Do you know how I'd have this in my possession?
I don't dare make a guess.
Do you know why I might be bringing it here?
No.
Let's just say, maybe there's more to our little trip here than you may understand. Bigger things at play. I'm essentially trying to bullshit my way into throwing around the idea that I might be there on instruction from someone higher up than her.
Well, human sacrifice is.
Yeah, I'm keeping it intentionally
yeah.
vague.
No, I mean like me as a DM. That is my go-to. Like
Oh,
I'll
I was
call it,
making a joke
human
for
being.
everybody
Oh, okay.
else while
Sorry.
you guys were having your conversation.
Yeah. All right.
It wasn't a legitimate question.
Fair enough. All right. You can make a deception check. There you go.
Nat 20, nat 20, nat 20, nat 20.
Ooh, that is
Ooh,
really
close.
good.
Damn.
Very well. If we are on the same side, I don't understand the secrecy, but... Well, what are you here for, then, brother?
Let's just say I need to convince Beretta that book is being returned to her. You get it back.
One way or another.
I am not parting with the...
It's not me you'll have to answer to if you decline this request.
As true as that may be, I will take my regrets with the grave. That is the case. The book stays with me, but if you still wish to make a copy, I can oblige.
But do I shit on my own doorstep?
I don't know, do you?
I'm not. No, I'm talking to myself. I'm talking out of character here.
Oh, sorry.
As I sort of, I'm just gonna continue. You said you can make a copy. I've walked up and I've just raised my arm, assuming that she's up high, because that's what that looks like.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit elevated, but it's only a few feet.
And I would start unpacking a forgery kit and preparing a table.
You'll need. Sure. And as I sort of lift my arm up, because I'm in robes, I kind of feel that the sleeve would just roll back just ever so slightly. As I've reached up, revealing what's underneath.
That does catch her attention instantly. She does not reach for the book to hand it to you. Instead, you can avoid it if you wish, but she kind of like, in a very enthusiastic but non-threatening manner, reaches out to quickly grasp your wrist.
And I will resist.
Okay.
I'm assuming she's just attempting to look at my arm.
Yeah.
But we had the opportunity to be friends. Book.
If we're on the same side, I don't see the resistance in your statements.
You
I don't
do not share.
Sorry.
You do not share your most intimate.
I think I've shared as much as I am allowed to.
We've been instructed to take the book. If you're only going to let us make a copy, then that, in my opinion, is resistance, and you'll be dealt with. And that is out of my hands. I'll pass my colleague the book.
I will, under supervision, allow you to make a copy, but only of the pages leading up to, but not including my own notes, spells, and research. The book and the copy of which you are creating will be a copy of the book that Beretta had in her possession at the time of my liberation of it. Understood?
In exchange for your terms, I would like you to enchant it, so she will see through the falsehood.
We have high quality inks and paper. There will be no falsehood within this copy.
Out of character question: How do wizard spellbooks work? Can you just literally
I don't-
copy
I
it
don't-
and they'll have the
You
exact
can
same
copy it, but
copies?
it costs money and time.
But if it's the expensive paper and stuff, you can literally make a copy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
you
thing is-
literally make a copy. Yeah.
The thing is
There's
that
no magical aspect to the book itself. It's
Oh,
literally
okay.
just
I
the
thought there
spell
was.
details.
yeah,
Like it costs money for like working out how to do it your own way.
yeah.
If it's
Okay.
like just an exact copy of somebody
Which
else's.
Okay.
Which is why every spell book is not the same, even if it contains the same spell. Every wizard learns the spell in their own way,
Yeah.
putting down the ins and outs in a way that makes
Yeah.
sense to them to get the result of the spell. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm just role playing this in what makes sense to me. So I don't know
Yeah.
any of those details. So
No,
but
it's fine.
essentially, I'm making the agreement with her that I'll copy exactly Beretta's book, but I need her help in making it exactly the same.
She has agreed. That is agreeable. Now,
And if you would like to study my friend further, you may owe him a favor, her a favor, they a favor.
It doesn't matter which one you say. All apply.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've used
Yeah, okay.
them all.
Okay. I noticed you change it sentence to sentence.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell whether that was you doing it on purpose, whether you were correcting yourself from the previous sentence.
Nope.
this
So
is
I-
very curious. Very, very curious. Very well.
Yeah, I'll retrieve the book, and I'm not going far away, but set up some sort of table to.
No. So what she will allow is that she will step down and lead you guys, as in
Okay.
I'll use roleplay like, okay, very well. Can begin the copying within the alchemical area of
First lead the way.
house.
Ooh, this way. I really like it. You know, we should talk about your architecture. It's beautiful.
You
And
flattery will not get you far, brother.
Oh, I'm not flattering. I'm being genuinely serious. I do like me a good cook.
So she will take the book off its chain that she has wrapped around her shoulder and place it down onto one of these things. As she does, she leaves it, open, or not open, closed, with the cover being, towards you, as it were, and then goes to grab a similar looking, almost identical looking book, empty, high quality paper, and presents the high quality ink, and kind of folds her arms. Fucking Antis standing on top of a gaff. Shit. And you
Yeah.
are. We moved back to the alchemical thing, so if you want to
Yeah,
leave your
that's fine.
tokens, you're free to do so. Otherwise, just keep moving if you so wish. There is, like, she's not. You already kind of drew the conclusion that she gets fed information from these constructs, so she doesn't seem bothered with you guys wandering around if that is what you wish to do. But
I will
Agatha
hide
will.
under the table.
Yeah.
I
I
Agatha
go to the
will,
toilet.
under supervision, observe Vago making the copy under, kind of strict, under her strict eye. As Vago, unless there is something anyone is doing.
I would just like to sort of observe Vago, and just sort of.
Yeah, I'll be. Sorry.
I want it all. We need it all.
Oh, you whisper this.
No, it's I'm. I know we're stood right next to the construct, so I'm thinking, I need it. I want to have the whole book. What do I want?
Can I just whisper under my breath, say, Barter, you have something, and just leave it at that unfinished sentence while I'm like mega focused on making this like perfect copy.
Yeah, and she's watching your every move. Like every stroke of the quill and the ink. If you were to make any mistake, she would kind of interject and help in it, meaning no role is necessary for this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really focusing, but yeah, I just want the words to linger, like the whole barter. You have something.
Yeah, and okay. So while you're doing that, then I'll fuck it. Let's role play the rest of this session out. Let's go and talk
There's
to.
only 10 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go and talk to Her
I
Royal
think it
Highness.
might almost be wiser to call it here, as we are
Okay.
moving in
This
on
is-
ending
yeah.
time to begin with.
Just as we do
and
that, then.
It is potentially a very hefty subject.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose thinking about it as well. If it goes the way you've explained it, with the whole each mage makes their book their own.
Yeah.
I also will need to try and convince Agatha that Beretta's not going to believe that this book wasn't developed any further. So I'm going to need at least try and convince her to let me take some extra.
Possibly get a couple pages, maybe.
Yeah, and then Bell's gonna have to start getting his kit off to try and get the rest of the book.
It's making a lot more sense why she was interested in Bell in the first place.
Well, from what I can gather, because I don't know Bell's backstory, but I gather that he's the only successful attempt at this inscription on a person. So that'll have a real interest if that's what she's attempting to do herself.
Look at that little face.
Yeah.
Just remember, you've got 2 weeks to realise how much chips you've got on the table right now.
Yeah, that too. That is, it can be quite valuable both for me and you guys to get some distance from this and reevaluate from our character standpoints. As much as I have loved this turned out nothing like I expected. So
What did you expect it to turn
Yeah.
out?
We're gonna run in guns blazing and try and
something
Really?
like that, actually, yeah. That is.
I mean, I was sneaking. Yeah, I was sort of hiding for a reason, waiting for a chance for there to like rush up with spells, and I would like stab her in the back.
waiting for something to happen. Yeah.
It's weird because every session I've ever played of D&D, right at the beginning, I'll pick up something that I think's useful, and I'll never ever use it. And then I'll play this. We'll play sessions, and there'll be a big brain idea that never works. In this session, something I picked up in session 0 was useful, and we big brained our way in. So this has been a first all night.
We've big brained our way through the entire session.
That dagger is significant in one way or another. I
just didn't know who it would hold weight with.
Yeah.
And it's luckily someone that we really could do with convincing.
Yeah. True.
Those rolls as well.
Welcome to Belle's story arc, guys.